What's up, everybody? I think they can hear us now. Should be good. Fun is Hoag's least favorite word. Ouch.
Fun. Stupid. I don't understand him at all.
All right.
Stupid.
Should just like hopefully pretty easily populate. Get there.
I'm gonna populate the earth.
Well, I will say like you have. I know you are not a dad, but your dad jokes and your reviews and your puns and stuff, man.
That's right. Who needs fatherhood when you have that much cheese naturally?
Not you, especially when you're playing a game with the Ceviche sisters.
Ceviche sisters, dude.
I
Gotta
remember that
go.
line. I was like, that this feels like this is what Travis gave it, Nate, right here.
See an enemy made me laugh out loud. Thank you, Spidey. Love you, buddy.
Have you ever? You
Another crap
had
treasure. Please buy it. Support a small studio. It's their second game. Their first game is also really good. I think this one's even better. Even if you're not really a Souls-like person, it's kind of like a Souls-like for beginners.
Yeah, I heard
So
it wasn't
for
crazy
me,
difficult.
yeah, for me, it wasn't hard at all. It was just fun. But
Yeah.
even if it's not challenging, it's just fun, dude. It's like, who doesn't want to fight a crab that uses chopsticks as a samurai sword? Like, that's amazing. Go play that game.
Yeah.
It's great.
Alvin with the $5 super chat. A sword day, a red day, ere the sun rises. Theoden King. All the jokes about sunsetting and sun rising, and
Yeah,
there's a little too much right now to digest, but we'll have to roll with what we got.
I
How
wrote an
are we
article about it.
sounding?
We actually covered it.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I wrote an article about the death of sunsetting.
The death of sunsetting.
Tassie's joining
Joining
to
this
do a
episode to do a
comprehensive
comprehensive
review of Stellar Blade.
Stellar Blade reviews are a mess.
I will be doing a show with Paul Tassi tomorrow, and I will
Is
not
that
be
what Fire
talking
Team Chat
about.
is? Just Tassie, you, and Destin now?
Yeah, I will not be doing a conversation about Stellar Blade or review scores because Paul is so incredibly wrong on the topic. And I've already had the argument with him, and he lost, so I don't know why he's bringing back up his bad points from earlier, but I chose not to engage, which, if you know anything about me, required every ounce of willpower I have. But I didn't engage. I'm proud of myself. You're muted, but I love you.
I'm here.
We're waiting on Cog, for those who are curious.
Yep.
Aren't I already engaged? Yeah. Exactly. I can't engage with Paul Tassi. That's called double jeopardy. Or polyamory. Or polygamy. Or Mormonism.
A lot of
You
choices.
choose. Dealer's choice.
Well,
Sunsetting of sunsetting. We're definitely going to be talking about that. Wild decision. Also, I believe they promised the community that they would never bring back sunset weapons, that they would never unsunset. They assured everyone that they should delete their vaults.
I
You
mean,
guys
at
remember
this
that?
point, yeah, like Destiny 2, the gloves are off. The sandbox balancing can go F itself, and
Yeah.
like
We're
truly,
barebacking.
whoa,
We're barebacking through the final
whoa,
shape, dude.
that is quite a metaphor, sir.
What's the metaphor?
I don't
I
really
was
want to
being literal, bro.
dive into this. Let's not get into the nuances of what was just said there. That's probably for the best for everyone.
I was being very literal, E. We're barebacking through final shape.
We've
Final
come
shape
full circle.
Yeah, we have.
Oh, there
Which
you
is
go.
also a metaphor.
The finals. Oh, I know. Believe me, he spelled it the way that keeps it reasonable in the moment. But we're just gonna go ahead and dodge that bullet.
Yeah, I think. I mean, I'll say this when we go live. I'm going to be repeating myself for those who are at the pre-show. But I was not on team Destiny 3 is definitely happening, but after this latest move, I am now on
Now
team
you are,
Destiny 3
yeah.
is definitely happening.
I feel like that's
because I can't see them doing this with any expectation that it's going to be like They basically are just saying, F it, power creep. We're not going to have to deal with this sandbox for that much longer anyway.
No,
That's what I
and
got from it.
yeah, I mean, same. There's too much of the writing on the wall. There's like, hey, the subclass of Prismatic feels like a beta for what Destiny 3 is probably working on. So it's like a test bed for what combinations are going to work, what might break the game. And then the fact that you're trying to work on a power leveling system where half the time power level doesn't matter, but then sometimes it does. They shrunk the power level grind, and you get into this point to where we're at 2000 power level. Are we really going to end up at like in Destiny at like 2300? No, we're going to end it at like 2000. Power level's never really going to go up for episodes at this point. We're just going to be doing our thing. And then Destiny is going to come out 2 years later with number 3. Yay. All right, well, to give Cog some time to like get home, get settled so he doesn't just like jump into a microphone, we can at least start. And I apologize again for everybody for my nose, but once Cog gets here and we get done talking about other games besides Destiny, should be interesting. But for now,
Cool, man. Now you just sound like me normally.
oh no, this is me for most of my life, actually. I've had allergies and stuff and sinus surgeries. I've had so much my whole life that when I actually had my sinus surgery, and generally I am clear most of the time, that is rare in my like 40 years of life. So this is what I actually know better, but still.
Nice.
All right, well, we will go silence on the set. Sorry about the delay, but it's sometimes how it goes. All right, 5. And we are live with a different voice here at the helm today because Cognito is stuck in traffic, but he will be here in just a little while. So while he navigates the chaos of the New York City roads and whatever he's got to drive through to get home, I am here with my fellow co-host, Ty Guy Travis. Feels like you've had a busy week. Oh, wait, if you're watching IGN, you know he's had a busy week. So what have you been up to, sir? What have you been doing? I know we've both been playing one of the same games, and you've been playing another one. So
yeah,
what you been doing?
I've been popping out reviews. I reviewed No Rest for the Wicked this past week, which I know you were playing, E. Had a lot of fun with that. I reviewed another Crab's Treasure, the Souls-like where you play as a hermit crab in the ocean. That game I actually reviewed like 3 weeks ago. I just had a really like long wait time until the embargo. But I'm glad that my review's out there and people are playing that game today. It's on Game Pass if you're an Xbox person or PC Game Pass person. And then we also wrapped up IGN First for the month of April. Did my full preview of Eternal Strands. Had a lot of fun covering that game and revealing it to the world. And I hope that you guys checked out some of the content we made for it because I think that game has a pretty good chance of being pretty special if they can stick the landing. So very optimistic about that one. And yeah, everybody should go check that out. Yeah, other than that, content, man. Got some news coming up, can't talk about. Got some cool. I covered the Tribeca festival because they have a games part of their festival now.
I was gonna say the film festival, or
it is the film festival, but they do music and games now. Their games are basically like, here's some indie stuff we think is kind of cool.
yeah.
So they've got like some indie games are showing off, but they're also the ones doing that Final Fantasy VII making of panel. So, which is kind of interesting. It's going to be like the director of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth chatting with the original Final Fantasy VII guy, the creative director and producer of that game. So kind of interesting. How about you, man? I know you've been playing a lot of No Rest for the Wicked.
Yeah, so I know you kind of got your early access review up, so you gave it a 7, which seemed fair. I'm loving it though. Like, I know it's early access, and so I got a 50 out of 50X 3090, not your rig, but solid. And just in these like hot fixes, I've seen some things definitely get better and smoother.
Oh
And
yeah,
they've
way
been
better.
doing, I think they're working on a hot fix tonight, which might be their biggest one, they said. So they're trying to get their most out in a week. So I'm hopefully getting that one downloaded tonight to give it another try. This game does so many genre mashup things that I love and does them in a way that I'm really having a good time with. I know we probably talked about it for like 3 or 4 hours, but I'm up to like 30 hours in it now, I think, between being sick and other stuff. I haven't played as much as I would have liked, but so I mean, I played ARPGs all the way back from Diablo 1 and Diablo 2. I've been doing those forever. But when you play action combat now, just the spam the abilities and stuff like that, didn't quite do it for me. And Diablo's story was pretty cool, but the combat is, I don't know, something about action soul. Once you get into like souls and dodging and parries and just having a little more deliberate control over what you do feels better. So the fact that they took a genre of Diablo with like loot and the isometric view, and they paired it with a more deliberate melee, like action combat. Like I'm still working on my parry timing, but I just love how it plays. I love how the weapons are noticeably different. I've been hanging onto a claymore for longer than I should admit, but big claymore I just got early, so I've been playing with that one quite a bit. But the world, the art style, and it's like you watch the facial animations that they do with the characters that they have, and I know it's very
Really
stylistic. Yeah, it's very stylistic, but it's like very expressive, which I think does a lot because you can have like voice work be good, but just like this like deadpan face, which just kind of kills it for me. But even the stylized version of what they're doing here still gets the message across. And I've played 30 hours. I'm working on, there's like the Crucible stuff you've got up for more of a bit of an in-game grind. And then it's like, as you progress through Diablo and like you go through a certain area, you're typically not going to go back through it. They actually did some stuff in Diablo 4 to kind of help with that. So I was wondering how they were going to do something to be like, hey, I go through the Shallows area and then I headed over to the main town. Why am I going to go back? Well, as the fog of war kind of creeps off an area and it repopulates with enemies, as you get farther in the story and like level up, when you go back in an area, you'll have different enemies to fight and it'll kind of repopulate the area and they'll be dropping gear that's kind of relevant to you the whole time. Um, it's a combination of the loot, and it's the Ori creator, so it's like the quality's not really a question for me, and they're working their butt off on the early access too. But it's like the loot, the combat, the story, the style. There's not much I don't like. Like, I mean, for me, when this 1.0, if the 1.0 comes out as polished and as optimized as say like Ori did, then they're gonna have like a 9 or 10 on like for me. At least in
Oh
not,
yeah.
yeah. So it's like if it's as
With,
polished
I
up,
think without question, like a 7 in early access is like, you know, you've got a really good foundation. I
yeah.
was almost an 8 to be honest for early access, which that sort of doesn't give them a lot of room to grow. And my point was, I thought there's enough that still needs improvement to be worthy of like a good, not great, but like a great is basically a conclusion. I think after a little bit of development, and they're moving quick, dude. They've had an update every day since they came out. It's
I
crazy.
know it's been. I think yeah, today's gonna be their 5th update, and I was like, dude, are you guys
Ooh.
sleeping at all?
No rest for the wicked?
Yeah, no rest for the wicked. Yeah,
yeah.
they're on their
Mhm.
5th
Question.
Yeah,
update.
they've been updating
Crazy
crazy.
how fast they're moving.
Because like I mean, I played on the Steam Deck, ran actually decently, and then I would get to a point where it would just like chug and nearly like stop. So I'm like, that's. They said there was like a memory leak at some point. I was like, all right, that makes some sense. But no rest for the wicked.
You played Conk at all?
Yeah, the early access.
Yeah.
But I haven't
like
played since the 2 patches. But I liked it. I really enjoyed
There's
it.
5
That's
patches.
surprising.
5 patches.
Well, yeah.
That's surprising because you're not really a Souls-like guy. How do you
I was
feel
gonna
about
ask you
being
how
a
much
hermit
have you
crab?
played and how's it going?
Because I feel like it has enough Diablo-ish in it to keep me as opposed to the traditional 3D, kind of space that most Souls games lie in. But no, it's challenging. My parrying sucks. Trying to catch that.
Me too.
Oh my
Dude,
god,
I'm
my
so
parry's
good
awful.
at parry. I'm so good at parry. So here's the thing about the parry in this game. Notice for the wicked, it doesn't work like parry in any other game. And at first, it's really like I stayed away from it for like the first half of my playthrough because I was just like, dude, this kind of sucks. But then I just found a really good shield. Yeah, I found a really good shield that was healing me, and I found a really good katana, and a one-handed katana, and I was just like, dude, I have to figure this out. So I went into the end game dungeon, the Serum Crucible, and I just fought like sword and shield bros for a couple hours.
Nice. Got the skills out.
I am so effing good at parrying now, and it's very reliable, and actually they are pretty lenient once you
True, at the
know.
window.
But you're using
Yeah.
a shield
Yeah,
though, right,
'cause-
for the parry?
Yeah,
Not like a weapon block?
using a shield is a lot easier, but
Yeah.
like The key I have found is in other Souls-like games, you hit the parry right before it hits you.
Right.
In this game, you almost hit it like after it hits you. It's like
Yeah,
right
it's
as the
really
blade is hitting you. It's a
it's
very
late.
odd.
yeah, it's a
It's a
later
very
timing.
odd like late
Okay.
time to do it. But once you
No, that helps
really
me.
adjust to that, it's so good. And my shield, like when I block normally, it heals me, and when I pull off a parry, it
Mhm.
heals me, refills all my stamina, and
Yep.
does like
Woo.
150
Perfect
damage to
synergy.
them
That's
just from
fire.
parrying. I don't even have
That's
to hit
dope.
Oh
them.
yeah,
You
those.
know.
And
So-
generally in games, games that have parries, I actually like because it's so rewarding to me. So I do want to
yeah.
master it.
Sekiro.
Yeah.
Did you play Sekiro?
I play Sekiro too often. That's E. That's E lane.
Oh.
That's E lane right there. But I love
How do
parrying.
you
though.
feel? Have you considered being a hermit crab in the ocean though?
Why I gotta be a hermit crab?
There's
you considered being a
another
hermit crab
crab's
in the ocean?
treasure. Another crab's
Another
treasure.
crab. Oh, okay, I got you.
Yeah. It's on Game Pass, dude.
Yeah, bro, it's so many games.
You should
Zal,
play it,
I'm-
Cog. It's on Game Pass, and it is a
Mhm.
game where you play a hermit crab in the ocean,
Okay.
and it is like kind of Banjo-Kazooie as like a underwater as like a Souls-like with Souls-like
Mhm.
combat.
Mm.
It's very silly, and the main mechanic is that you're a hermit crab who lost your shell, so you run around grabbing different things as shells, soda cans.
Oh, I know. When you said
know,
that mechanic, I was like, all right, I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
Yeah,
I'm here for
rip
another
open
crab's
baseball
treasure.
or a tennis ball. You
I
can
see
get
it
into a
now.
boxing glove, and then it gives you a power where you like stomp on the ground with a boxing glove as your shell.
Yeah.
It's freaking awesome, dude.
Check
So
it out.
everybody should play that game.
Yeah.
And also, it has like every part of it is so creative, Cog. Like there's one
Mhm.
part where you fight a boss who is a crab, and he has a sleeve of chopsticks, and he very slowly pulls the chopsticks out of the sleeve like it's a katana, and
Nice.
then you do a boss fight with him.
That's kind of high.
That's
That's
awesome.
kind of high. Good for that.
Stuff
Sound kind of high.
Stuff like that, where you're just like, dude, whoever did this, like, probably did a lot of drugs, but dude, it paid off. It was worth it because they just nail it. Like, everybody's a crab,
Mhm.
and if you know anything about crabs, it's kind of hard to make them look distinct because they don't have
Yeah.
hair or facial like any features,
Mhm.
and so they have to find like garbage that they wear as like
Mhm.
one of them is wearing like an orange peel that looks like a curly, like somebody was making a cocktail out of an orange
Mhm.
peel, and like it's like draped over her head like a lock of hair.
Hilarious.
It's everything about it is so creative. So everybody should give it
Cool.
a try. It's on Game
Yeah,
Pass.
another crab's advantage. I'll check it out.
So
many
yeah, like
games.
no rest for me
As
is
I call it shell divers. Everybody
Shell
should call it
divers.
shell divers.
Shell
Way
divers.
See,
better name.
the puns just keep writing themselves. This game. Are you fashionably late, GMD? You're good, buddy.
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
Cog was fashionably late, so you're fine.
Yeah.
Actually,
Mhm.
no, but yeah, no rest for the wicked. If you find any of the affiliate links you want to support, that's a good way to save yourself like an extra $4 more, because right now it's on sale, and I think their links are valid for like another week. I was just like Miss 5000 Watts and I always like trade like streams and stuff like that back and forth, and she's got one of those affiliate links.
Mhm.
It's just like for me that game is doing so many things, and if this is supposedly Act 1 and then they've got that Crucible kind of in-game grind, I'm like, I want this game to have like 4 or 5 acts. I was like, please, I want so much content for this thing because it's got so much potential. I think that's the biggest thing. Like, take their time in early. I don't know how much more content or DLCs they want to do later, but if they can stretch this game out to be big, it's where it is now. I mean, as Travis said, it was almost an 8 for your early access review. I know that 1.0 launch for me is going to be like 9 to 10. Like, just everything's going cooking for me right now. It really is.
It feels really good.
The other one
everybody I know is really enjoying it, except Destin Legary.
Ooh.
Really don't like it.
Huh. Is he a Souls
But
guy though, or no? He does
I
some.
think he says he is, but I don't know. Just based on his questions, I feel like he just sucks.
He doesn't watch this show, so you're safe to say those things. But yes.
No. I'm gonna text him. I'm gonna let him know we're on. Make sure he sees this.
Yeah, so make sure go back and watch this timestamp area. I gotta make sure you see this line. But I dropped my review for Tales of Kinzera Zao as well on Monday.
Nice.
So got to play that early. There was like I got to see a preview like thing, but I actually didn't get to see it because I was one of the like quarter of the people who had like an unlucky browser situation that I couldn't actually watch the presentation with like Abubakar Salim and like the others. I got to go back and watch it, but I wasn't like live viewing it, so it was a little delayed gratification there. But got to see that preview, played it early. I enjoyed that game. I ended up giving it an 8. I was torn between about 7 and 8, and I could see I think IGN did drop a 7 on it. I saw some go a little bit higher. The art style for a team, and this is like one of those times where I appreciate Travis's reviews being fair.
Yes.
And I feel like this is one where I don't want to say like I was like, I understand like Travis is very fair in his reviews, because there are some reviews you listen to, it's like, hey, it's a small team, it's like 30 people in the studio, it's their first game that they put out, and I'm like, there shouldn't be qualifiers to a review, and that's one of those where it's like, you know, trying to
curve.
Yeah, it's like, so but I will say, just when I sat there and thought about the pieces, it's almost like it's better than the sum of its parts. I don't know what I'm probably saying incorrectly, but the music and everything and stuff, when it all comes together, like when you're in the middle of a boss fight, the music is playing, the art style's going on, the combat's going, you're switching between masks and everything in Zao. It hits really well. And again, it is a small team. I will say that in normal fashion, it's like what I want to see from this team that put out a game with a story that has this much heart and honesty in it. I mean, this feels like they just like ripped open their chest and like just bared their soul in this game, especially when you watch some of the interviews with Abu.
And I say 5 out of 10. Just kidding. You bared your soul. Mid. Yeah.
But it's just like it's interesting to see like a Metroidvania when you can say, you know, for me, like it's hard to play a game like this, and that's also where I have to try and take some context. Prince of Persia was so good. Metroidvania, same thing, but what its story was decent, but it was probably the lacking point of that game.
Stronger.
Yeah, the narrative way stronger here, easily. But like Prince of Persia, the combat, the fact that like the little pictures you would save, and there's some things they could probably even do in this game that would just be a little quality of, like, if you're gonna go back and 100% things, like when you go to an area, it's not fog of war as you go, it's like the zone fog of war is completely uncovered. So for me, when I was going back to areas to say, where have I been and where haven't I been, I didn't always know.
Gotcha.
And then there's certain icons that would show up if you did one of the secrets, or you got a power, or you finished like a little challenge area. And there's other things that you would collect. They didn't have a marker on the map. So I'd be like, oh, that looks like an area that has something I need to go check on. Then I'd get all the way up there. I'm like, oh, I've been here. So it was if I was going back to
quality
100%,
of life.
yeah, little quality of life
little
stuff like
things,
that
little
they
things.
could even add to now. But I was like, as I told you guys in February, it's like we lost Raya. So it's like I recently had grief hit me very close at home, and like everybody's going to experience grief in a different way. And I think this is one of those, as you go through it, it's kind of, it is an interesting way that he knew he wanted to make a Metroidvania, and he wanted it to be about grief. And the way the creator kind of explained it is like, when you experience grief, like the world still goes on. And that is one of those things, like my wife and I were sitting in our living room at like 5 o'clock in the morning, and I was just numb. It's just that weird feeling. And it's kind of where you get to that point and you're like, all right, now I know the day's got to go forward, but how do I do this? And that's like the weird, that's kind of where he has said, you start a game, you don't understand all the powers, you don't understand how like everything's going to work, and then slowly things start working out and going together forward. And it was just an interesting way to do it. I thought the bosses were actually pretty cool. Overall, it wasn't challenging. Played it on the hardest difficulty. Beat it in about 10 hours. But some of the platforming sections are pretty tight. Like tight, you know, timing on some of them and stuff like that to make sure you get the kind of glide right and the zip over and the dash and everything. There were a couple things, like, again, where if you did a ability that you could dash kind of up and go in a certain direction, you still didn't have your normal air dash, and it felt like the ability shouldn't be taking your dash, but you kind of had to play. So it's like, once you understood the mechanics, it was good. I don't know. It's like, but the art style, the art, just the voice acting was extremely well done. Overall, it's a very good game. I recommend to everybody. I think a lot of people are just going to have how it hits them for like the impact in a different way. I have no idea what is going on. You guys are like smiling while I'm talking about this game. So something's happening over here.
Nothing to talk about. Nothing to talk about.
Anyway, so it's definitely a game I recommend. As I said, I gave it an 8. I was between a 7 and an 8. I landed on an 8, but I can understand anywhere from a 7 to a 9, probably for a lot of people. Because I know, I think I saw those reviews. But I was like, it's easily a good game for probably just about everybody who plays it. It is a well-done Metroidvania. I think the story impact will probably change how the
Music,
score hits you. Music is
sound, music.
fire.
Okay,
Music
that's
is
what I want to
very
know.
good. The music's very fitting for both the,
hmm
I mean, it's Bantu culture, so it's like African culture based, so the instruments and stuff that you hear in there, but the boss fights, the
Kind of
hype up and
fire.
everything like that.
Yes.
Um,
hmm
What kind of fire are we talking? House fire,
Bonfire? I don't know.
campfire,
Bon-
grease
Music is
fire.
fire.
Let's
Fire,
not go with a
baby.
grease fire. Those are trouble.
Okay.
We'll go with a bonfire.
Okay. It's a bonfire. Okay,
Bonfire.
good.
Voice. I heard the voices are cool.
Voices are good. Yeah, so Abubakar
Native.
Salim. Yeah, I
Mhm.
mean, you can listen to the whole thing in Swahili if you want to.
Yeah, that's
So you can go for both different tracks, which
Grease
is
fire.
really, really cool. I don't what are you guys?
We just be ridiculous.
Yeah,
Continue.
of course.
Mhm.
So yeah, those are the two that I played. Enjoyed both of them. And yeah, No Rest for the Wicked. I'm gonna be playing that one just off and on. For whatever, I should probably be grinding and playing other stuff in Destiny, and all I wanted to play is No Rest for the Wicked. That's all I've really wanted to play. I've been
Oh, it
sick all
really
week.
hits you.
I've been sick
Wow.
all week, but just like in my random time, I'm like, I could totally grind some Weapons Destiny, but I'm like, or maybe play this other thing. Actually, just got a code for Stellar Blade this afternoon, but I still just I want to play No Rest for the Wicked. Like I want to do, yeah. So I got
You
one
gotta do it
house.
Heartless.
Yeah, it's fun. So we'll see. Well, now you're here, Cog. What have you been up to?
Yo, not much. It's been a lot of traveling and running around, but for the few times I did get a chance to play, still on my Dogmas quest. Man, I love that game. I can't. It's just too addicting. The way you are with No Rest for
What's
the
it
Wicked right
called?
now is the way Dragon's Dogmas
Oh
still
yeah, yeah.
got me, bro.
I'm glad it
Yeah,
does.
so
Like that's one I
it's the
never
most
would have pegged you playing ever.
I'm shocked that this game got me, and unfortunately, this has stopped my Final Fantasy Rebirth finish because
Oh,
I can't stop playing Dogma. So you got that, and where I am now is I'm in the process of switching vocations a lot, and the vocation that I am completely in love with is Mystic Spearhand. That
oh yeah, that
vocation
one's fun.
is amazing.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's my play style. They got the martial arts with the staff. They got the magic. And that's part of the jokes that they go on. Because I said a comment about how much I love this on Duke, and I made some pause-worthy comments, and they killing me. And what you
Oh
call
yeah, you
Astro
guys in
Parody,
your
that was
pause
killing
where
me.
the man, dude, Matty has got to watch his word choice sometimes. I swear.
Which one?
No,
Which one?
I can't. I don't know. Just in the moment, I'm like,
So many, right? He does it. He does it often. But it was so funny when he caught me finally, and I'm like, he's like, "Cog, what did you say?" I was like, "Yeah, I was fighting all these people in Dragon's Dogma, and I was running around from this town. I got bodied by like 4 people, dudes in the forest." He was like, "What happened in the forest?" I'm like, "There it is." I said, "They're
yeah.
gonna clip it. They're gonna roll with it," and that's what they talking in the chat. They joking at me right now. But doing that, Fallout Love is continuing. So I didn't try the Fallout 4 patch yet, but I dipped into 76 for the first time
Yeah,
last
I
week.
heard you did, and I was like,
Really enjoyed it. I was actually surprised. So remember, this is all new experience for me. People were telling me NPCs and all this stuff didn't exist. They were telling me the game you're playing is not what we play. Because I had like a guide, my man Anchorman V, who was there from the beginning. And I was just like, man, they put me up to level 25. Oh, damn.
I
was there for-
reviewed Fallout 76. I played it a week before it was out. I gave it a 4 out of 10. My review was entitled Worst Virginia. And I never went back to play it because it was
Same.
30 or 40 hours I played that game, and it was
Jesus.
pretty brutal. It was pretty
Yeah.
brutal, dude. Didn't have a
Bro.
single NPC. The
That's
entire
what I heard.
storyline was like you almost finding a real human. It was like
Yes,
you
it
would go to a location and
recordings.
there would be like a recording or a terminal or a note, and it would be like, "Oh, you just missed me. I was right there." And I'd be like,
wow.
"Is this going to be a game where you don't meet anyone?" Like I was like very surprised. So yeah, I'll talk about this a little bit because I've also been playing Fallout 76. This is my first time playing Fallout 76 since I reviewed it.
Let me hear your perspective. Yes.
Yeah, and the
Let's
reason
go.
I'm playing it is because May is extremely light on games.
Okay.
And so IGN is toying with the possibility of spending that month to re-review old games that haven't been reviewed in a long time. And one of the games we decided we wanted to review is Fallout 76, and so I'm going to review that game again.
That's dope.
Yeah,
That's dope.
so I've been playing it. I've been playing it for about 3 days. And I've put like maybe 20 hours into it, maybe less than that, 15 hours. And yeah, it's a very different game. I'll say that. It definitely feels different, like from the very beginning. It's funny because I'm seeing some missions that were there. I remember, like, I'm like, oh, I remember this mission from when I reviewed it all those years ago. But they're just so different because they have NPCs and you're like running into people and it just feels a lot more alive. I'm also playing it with we should play together, Cog.
We should play together, yeah. Because I need like an orientation course. I need like my man Engrams V's helping me when I see him on. But yeah, we should definitely play together.
What are you playing it on?
On Xbox.
Okay, great. It doesn't have
crossplay. Yeah, they gotta fix that. They need crossplay, especially
very
now.
Weird. It's very weird they don't have crossplay in an MMO that relies on their player population. But yeah. I'm on Xbox as well. I'm playing with Alex and my friend Paul is hopping
we should play together.
So
yeah,
we should definitely play together.
We should definitely play together.
Yeah, my impression is that it is some of the same, but also a lot better. It looks a lot better. It runs
the engine would surprise me because it used to look like a slideshow before, and the engine was smooth.
It was an Xbox One game, and so I played it on Xbox One originally, and it did not hold a stable 30. Like it ran pretty bad. And now on the Xbox Series X, it looks better. I think it's in 4K. It must be, and it's and it is a very stable 60 FPS on the Series X. So I've been really impressed with the performance. It's fun to play. I feel like they made VATS a little bit better than the version I played.
Real time.
Time will tell. I haven't gotten to any of the end game. Obviously, I'm still like in the beginning of like leveling up and building bases and figuring stuff out. I did make my character look like Gus Fring from Breaking Bad. Like literally, if you look at my character, I did a bang up job, dude. He looks just like him. I crushed it. So that's been kind of fun.
Nice.
How about you though? This is your first time playing it.
So my first time. Yeah, the thing that I thought was interesting was the special system because I like the idea. You get the cards, right? And then, the perception, the strength, and all that stuff. But then they even have play styles. Like if you want to play by yourself, you get these extra bonuses. Like they have what I call the Ebontis play style card if you want to play that way. But what I thought was cool is that let's just say I have
like
5.
In the middle of one.
Like if you want to invest in perception, but you have 4 cards, and like you can have a 2-point, and another card for that.
That system's really cool.
Yes.
What is my play style, by the way? I'm curious what I just got put.
Your play style is I'm by myself. So, like for example, it would be the equivalent of the Destiny,
whatever follows that. Yes,
of the Destiny artifact this season, where you get the lone wolf
solo operative
buff,
and all that fun.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. So they have it, but for guys like
Not
me,
my choice, but yeah,
right, I could choose the card that say, hey, I get this card or stuff bonuses when I'm with my friends and experiences bonuses, stuff like that. So I thought that was cool. I think for me, the main thing that I like was, again, the engine was great. This is one of the best communities I've ever seen. Like people are so excited that new players are in the game. They have a box as soon as you come out the vault, they're giving you stuff. In typical Fallout fashion, you kind of wonder and do what you want. But I have to admit, I like the biome of West Virginia, of Appalachia. I think it looks really nice. Like
so how long ago did it come out? Like when did Fallout 2016?
2018.
6 years. So these people, these dedicated people who have been through this hell for 6 years, finally are like, what's the movie with Will Smith where he's like by himself, basically. I Am Legend. He's like, they're like, I Am Legend, wandering around these like wastelands, and then like they crossed a bridge or something, and now like their people are here. We have to give them everything. They have to be our friends now.
You got to see the play account.
Oh, I've seen it.
Insane.
I know.
It is insane what's going on with Fallout games. Yeah. So I'm sorry. What's your question, Trav?
No, we should play tonight. We
should play
tonight.
DJ wants the raid first, though. He wants me to get the Riven checkpoint because I think it's the farmable. Because I don't got 1K. They got the farmable. He's like, Cog, this is it. I said, all right, I get you. So after that, I'm still
on.
Last
Wish this week?
Yeah, he's like last wish this week. Yeah, I need 1K.
I told myself I was going to try and farm that when Last Wish came back around. I totally forgot it was this week.
We should rock. But anyway, so yeah, that's it. So continue my Fallout love is I didn't get a chance to Fallout 4 because the thing I think it dropped today. So I'm gonna try the next gen update. and then Fallout Shelter. I went back to that.
Wait,
So
why?
I actually
Oh, you
like
just
that
on a
game,
Fallout binge, dude.
bro. I've been all Fallout because
So
it's yeah.
you need to talk to Decog because she
Oh,
hasn't
she's
played any of the Fallout games, but she loved the show. We watched the show together, and I got her to start playing Fallout 3, and she got to Megaton and was hanging out there a little bit, but then she just
yes.
sort of fell off it. And
Okay.
I'm like, stick with it. It's amazing. You need to play it. So
Yes.
I'm gonna try to get her to play Fallout 76 with us, and then you just have to
Yeah, we
be
should rock.
in your ear.
Yeah, absolutely. If you guys are playing, like I said, if I see you on your play, I'll just jump in because at this point, I need people to play with. I don't know all the mechanics and stuff like that, everything. So
I mean,
it's
I'm
really cool.
still learning them again. I feel like I'm brand new at it. I kind of
Yeah.
wish I didn't skip the first 20 levels because I just want to. I'll probably go back and make a third character because my character was still waiting for me when I got
Oh
to the game. And
wow!
I jumped in and I was like, I have no idea where I was.
What the hell I was doing?
I just started over. I was like, there's no way.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I might start a third character and try like the 1 to 20 thing just to
Yes.
see how that is. But it is
Yeah.
really cool that they just let you auto level to 20 and they give you good equipment too.
Good
And
stuff.
they just go have fun with your friends. Like don't
Yeah.
do the bullshit. So
Yep, I heard a
Cool.
lot of it. And then what I realized, the thing that I liked the most was that the survival mechanics seemed to be nerfed down. So I wasn't like worrying about food and water and all that stuff so much early. I wasn't running out of ammo. And they were telling me like, Cog, it wasn't like that. It was super harsh. Like you had to scrounge between every encounter to get resources. Even now, like if you kill enemies, they have the bullets for the guns that you have to make quality of life easier. They fixed a lot of things from what I heard. So I've been liking it, man. It's so far so good. So yeah, that's been pretty much that and a ton of Destiny in between. That's been going on.
Nice. Well, as we continue and enjoy all things gaming, Destiny still keeps us a little busy. We got a trailer to start off the week, actually on, I think it was Tuesday or Monday. Forget when that thing dropped, but it was the Final Shape trailer, all about Cayde, basically, kind of teasing what he's been up to, what he's seen inside the Traveler, realizing that he's in the Traveler, and just this kind of realization that he is, we're seeing the light. You got a little bit of the light in the dark for a split second in the trailer. Some cool moments in there, kind of a big journey through what the interior whole zone is going to look like in there, excuse me. And I will just say it's like it's good to have Nathan Fillion back.
Yeah.
Like unintentionally, my wife and I have watched Castle all the way through. That had Nathan Fillion in it. We've been watching The Rookie. I think that's on like season 5 or 6 with him in it. I mean, you got his one episode, of course, or his one season of I'm blanking on the show. It's the Western space one that like he's all the
Firefly.
Thank you. See, I was like that one.
Yes.
Dude, I'm the encyclopedia of this episode. I'm crushing it.
I know. It's crushing
I
it,
am
man.
Legend. Firefly, I got you.
Yeah. Bam.
2018. Fallout 76 release
Shitting
date,
them out, yeah.
2018. Yeah.
So
Love
it's
it.
just good to have him back in a trailer and back as Cayde. Does feel like Cayde very much stays in the Traveler. He's
Back
not,
in 2 trailers.
yeah.
He was in a trailer, but also he had a trailer because he's an actor.
Do you think he had a trailer at Bungie though
Yeah.
to record the voice lines?
I think he demanded a trailer.
I don't think
that's
so.
why
I don't think
I think
he
they
did.
killed his. They
I
killed
think he
his
did voice
character.
lines in his closet like Lance Reddick
No.
would do or something.
They
like,
killed
come
his
on.
character because he demanded. The actor demanded a trailer, and they were like, "We can't afford that."
Yeah,
But now they
I'm
got
gonna
the
go ahead
much.
and ask for a fact check, and then next time let us know that Travis is wrong. Thanks, guys. All
I'm the
This is Travis-
encyclopedia
this is
here,
Travis
guys.
lore.
You can trust me.
right.
Travis
Anywho,
Wall strikes again.
I forget who I was listening to, and it was just they were saying like as Final Shape gets closer and closer, the one thing that they are curious to see is how Keith David is going to be in Zavala's role, because
heard of
that's
Keith David Zavala.
I think that
line
one's
yet.
just going to drop with the game. I don't think they're
With the
going to
game,
preview
yeah.
him. I think that would be the
Yeah,
better
they
way.
kind
Just
of. I feel like they don't want to like promote the fact that Lance.
True,
Reddick
good
did
point.
it, you know what I
You're
mean?
right.
Like,
You're right.
We also,
You're
my
right.
wife and I
That'd be
watched
so
John Wick 3
disrespectful.
last night, and I know she's not listening to this podcast probably, so it was she said the final fight went on a little bit long. I was like, oh, you just can't wait for part 4. Part 4 is way worse on that, but it's fun. But I love Lance Reddick in 3 because you forget how tall he is sometimes. Lance Reddick's like so I don't know if he was 6'2", 6'3", but when he was walking around with everybody else and just like when he's got the big shotgun and everything, it's just kind of forget his
Mhm.
size, I guess, a little bit. But yeah. So yeah, trailer dropped. Anything you guys see in that trailer that kind of stuck out to you that you were
Mhm.
big fan
Yeah.
of, or just
Yeah,
any stuff?
I'm sorry.
Nope.
Yeah, I like the tone. I like the tone. I think for me, as a person who is such a fan of Witch Queen, with mysteries and secrets and distortion, right? What you see is not what it is. And the angle I like that they're going with is the kind of like the upside down, you know what I'm saying? You're
Yep.
seeing like the corruption inside and stuff like that. It
Stranger
remains,
Things has ruined us all.
I know. Now it remains to be seen as if it's going to be as good as Witch Queen, but I think
Indeed.
the tone is cool. And I get, for me to hear Nathan was cool, but I kind of like the play that I like narratively is that the Traveler is almost like heaven in a way. Like you die,
Yeah.
I'm assuming you show up there. And I don't know if you guys caught, the weapons have characters' faces on them. I guess of people who maybe previously died or their ghost got killed, or
Huh.
they're
I-
going with. I'm sorry. It feels like they're going with
Yeah.
a supernatural vibe, and I kind of like that. But they got to execute. I
mean,
got to see if they execute.
We've been paracausal for a decade now, so sure, yeah, I believe
Yeah.
that's probably allowed at this point.
It's funny
Sure.
because that was our original thought, was like, oh, maybe it's when Guardians die, they return to the Traveler, right? Like
Yep.
that's where light
Yeah.
comes from or whatever.
Mhm.
So it seems like maybe that's true. I don't know. It'd be
Yeah.
weird if it was just Cayde though, because like,
Right. What happened to everybody else?
yeah,
Right. And that's why the faces on the weapons, though, is curious to me. Like, are we gonna wake up and see who's some famous dead guardians? I don't know what Shin Malphite. What's them dudes that
I
got
mean,
murdered?
there's a whole bunch, right?
There's a
Like
bunch of famous
the
ones.
Iron Lords, right?
Yeah,
Weren't
like
they
the
Yep.
old
light
Iron Lords.
bearers?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. I'm
yeah.
very curious if they go that route. But yeah, like I said, I wasn't like crazy. I just wanted to know what the tone was, and I did like the tone of what was going on. So it was cool. But I heard Sony
We can meet
messed
all
up.
those Guardians that got harvested during that Shrieker mission.
Dark,
I
Unless-
heard
dark but accurate.
I heard Sony messed up. You see Bungie put the tweet out?
Maybe
Yeah.
they don't get to go to the Traveler because they got harvested and turned into. I don't know.
But yes,
Yeah,
yeah,
I'm
Sony
getting
was the
very-
one who dropped the trailer early, and then they're
Yeah,
like, "Oh, go ahead and hit the button. It's out
Bungie
there."
kind of called it out. It was like, oh, what a kerfuffle. This wasn't supposed to come out, but hey.
Hey, celebrate everybody.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting. The timing technically wasn't now for the trailer, but
Yeah.
it came out.
I think that, I mean, it was probably supposed to be like Tuesday morning or something. It was like time zone
Mm.
time or some scheduling, I'm sure, as
Gotcha.
that stuff usually is. Because was it Monday when we got it?
I think so. Like it was late. I was like, this
Yeah,
is
then
never
I
been a Bungie trailer at
guarantee you
that
that's
time.
probably like 12 hours back, like Japan time
Yeah.
or something. That's probably exactly.
Mhm.
That's those things happen with time zones. Believe me, it's like if you've ever had an embargo, I'm so paranoid of every embargo, just to be sure. But yes, same idea, I'm sure in there. They also have been doing these little baby YouTube videos highlighting. So you got the Harbinger and the Weaver.
Yes.
So those are, you've got the like Strand Scion guys, you got the
Yes.
Dread, you've got the Grim, or the Husk, sorry, the Husk and the Grim. So these little teasers about them. Husk look very cool.
Husk and Grim. It's my favorite children's fairy tale.
The Husk and the Grim.
The Husk look cool, but man, the little thing that pops out of them, I'm gonna hate those. I'm totally gonna hate those little like worm bomb things that come at you.
Heat seekers.
I'm gonna love them because I'll be hiding behind Ebontis.
That's fine.
He's a hunter now.
I was like, I'm a hunter. You won't be able to. I'll be invisible somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
So we got that trailer, and this week we got final step for the Whisper mission. So all of those are available now. I got the ship. I will say though, a little disappointed about the ship because
what's happening?
not the ship, just the path. You don't go in the portal.
Ah.
Last time we did this, when it was like finally the secret to go through and do the oracles and shoot them all in that room, and then you went through, and then there was like a little combat thing in there that you went through and did.
You're right. You're right.
Not there, and I honestly was kind of hoping we would go in there because when you get to like the right distance at the portal, something is in there. So I figured we were going in to hang out.
Yeah,
but
I forgot about that.
But nope, sadly not. So I've beat that on Legend solo enough times. At this point, I think I'm completely done with that mission. So I'm glad it's in the game. Having played it as much as I did a long time ago.
G-Man is killing you. He said last word finally has the perfect trinity of Hunter, Titan, and Warlock.
Oh no. My
It's
Discord, my chat are like, oh, you're practicing for your oh nope, you're not practicing yet. What are you doing? No, they all want me to start playing on my Hunter. I just haven't done it yet. I'll do that more in May. As
Oh,
Travis said,
clearly.
it's a little lighter.
Yes.
I'll be working on that more in
Yes.
May to get ready.
Mhm.
But it does seem due to the TWID. Got some cool wallpapers if you want them from that cinematic. They're in there.
Mhm.
We got some changes to power level with regards to
Yes.
how the final shape is going to go. But before we get to power level, because that's going to be kind of a discussion of things, let's talk about the fun one. Removing the power limits from legacy gear.
Crazy.
So they're sunsetting, or
Crazy.
they're sunrising, or whatever pun you want to put in there. What they said a long time ago, when we're going to make sure these old weapons are no longer available, you're never going to be able to use them again, you're safe to delete them. Those of you crazy people who held on to them, technically you're going to be able to pull them back out of the vault and go screw with people. Now,
Technically, not to correct everybody out there who's saying that they're sunsetting, but that doesn't make any sense. What you should say is that, there's the death of the sunset, which means supernova, is really what happened here. Now there is no sunset because the star has died.
yeah. Well, the star could collapse. Doesn't mean it's going to go supernova. That doesn't happen all the time.
True. It's true. It's not going to happen to our star. Our star is just going to turn into one of them.
Just like
One
a
of
red
them,
giant and die off, I think, right?
It becomes a what do you call it? The gas clouds that are very beautiful.
Oh, like a nebula?
Mhm.
a nebula. Yeah,
Mhm.
that happens.
Shout out to Science Bros.
Yeah.
Our astronomy. Yeah, that was actually a big surprise. Now, I will tell you,
Yes.
for 99.9% of the guns in everybody's vaults that are not in factor of this, because most people don't have them, most players have lapsed or haven't played. The random person who has a vault that might pick it back up later maybe has a few in there. And honestly, we've power crept so
Can't
far.
you grab certain weapons though? Like, can't you still grab the
Anything that was random rolled, you couldn't. So Forsaken onward.
No, but like what's the gun we got for getting to the top of comp?
Was it
Yeah.
what you call it? Luna's Howl and all that?
Luna's Howl,
Forgotten?
Not
other one.
Forgotten.
Not forgotten.
Not forgotten. Can't I just grab Not Forgotten now? Isn't it in the
I
the
feel like,
directory?
I feel like,
I feel like
because I know you
'Cause
can
it's
do it with
playlist
some.
activity.
I know,
a good
like
question.
the pinnacles and stuff, or the pursuit weapons. I know you can pull all those because they're fixed rolls.
Roger
It's anything
Lucas
that's a
said
fixed
that would be-
roll.
That would
They
be
said
Not
you could get it
Forgotten.
from you said you could get it from collect. Yeah, it is fixed. That's
Yeah.
right. There's no
Yeah,
random
so
rolls.
Yeah,
then,
you
so
can
then
buy
I would
them.
just be able to use
Yeah.
Not Forgotten
21%
again.
delirium.
20% delirium. Yeah, I forgot about that.
All pinnacle guns you can.
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, curated
Mhm.
rolls can be
All
grabbed from
pinnacles.
collections. Yeah, so whatever that
Mhm.
the stuff that was just curated one off, then you can get those.
Yeah,
It's
I'll
just the
I'll just
idea
grab
that
Not Forgotten and roll with that. Cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
PvP back on the menu. So yeah, PvP
Mhm.
is going to be the one that I saw was really surprising, and I think you guys remember the Mindbender's Ambition grind for that shotgun from
Yeah.
the terrible Scorn
Yeah.
Strike.
Yep.
That was
Yeah, I
one I
remember that
feel
one.
like more people grinded
That
for
strike
so
is
long,
bad.
and like that thing got sunset.
Yeah.
That is the fact that I saw. I think it was I'm trying to remember.
They all deleted it though.
Tony
And that's
Ill
really the
Physics.
problem with this, right? Is like
He still had it. He still had his old
Bungie
one.
Bungie promised the community that they would not go back on sunsetting.
I
They
know.
assured us so many times, and they were like, "Delete everything. We're not changing our mind. We're never doing this." And now they're
Desperate
doing
times,
it.
baby.
So, I will say this completely ruins any credibility Bungie has in the future if they ever tell us, "No, seriously though, it's okay. Delete whatever." Like, it's never gonna
They
happen.
objectively say delete the stuff.
No, they did.
In
They
fairness,
did.
There's probably
there's a
there's
statement
probably a
that said they
twin.
deleted it. Y'all gotta show me that one.
I wrote about this for IGN
Mhm.
today, so I went and looked up like all
Yeah.
the stuff that they said, and
What
they
they
said
say?
it multiple times. They were like, "We're
Mm.
this is we they said explicitly we promise we're not going to go back on this. You can
Mm.
like rest assured you can delete your stuff without any worry."
Interesting.
They said like it was so easy to Google this. Like I was like,
Mm.
"Oh my god!" They weren't even like halfway about it.
They
They
went
were just
halfway
like,
with
"No,
it?
we're not changing it." And so
Interesting. I didn't know that.
I'm not saying that this is bad on Bungie. I think Bungie saw the writing on the wall and they decided it was better to do what they felt was right for their game rather than arbitrarily keep to a promise that they never longer felt was the right solution. So
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with that. My issue is that in the future,
Oh yeah.
Bungie is never going to have any credibility when they say something like this. Like no matter what, people are going to hold on to their stuff forever. And you know what I mean? Like anytime they say we're changing the game for good, nobody will believe them and they would be right to, you know what I mean?
That's fair.
So I just think it's funny. This isn't like a serious criticism. Like I said, I think that they made the decision that they think is best for the game. And I'll never knock that. It's just funny that they were so sure.
No, if
they were so
that,
sure.
Yeah, if you said that they said that, and you see the documentation, they said that is bad. I remember them saying like, "Hey, you know, this is the decision we make," and yada yada. But it's funny if they actually said what you said, when it's like, "Hey, make delete, guys," like that is bad. I didn't remember that.
They were commenting on social and on people. This is back when they still posted on Reddit, so people would be like, you know, concerned about that, and they're like, "No, don't worry, you guys can safely get rid of all your stuff." But we have to keep in mind,
now I remember that verbiage.
It was 4 years ago,
your stuff,
right?
It was 3.5 years ago, and it was almost a different team at Bungie. So it's not even like it's the same people who made these promises are going back on them. It's like a really different group of people. It's just funny to me. It's just funny that like all the conspiracy theorists and paranoid people who insisted on keeping their shit are being rewarded, and all the people who were pragmatic and believed Bungie are being slapped in the face.
The amount of shame that like vault cleaning and Dado's jokes and stuff like that
is getting the business.
Oh, it's so funny.
This
but
man
honestly,
literally started a YouTube series with all the content creators to delete your vote. Why are you holding all this stuff? And then they would collaborate, and he would go through their
like the fact that he would be like, "Did you ever watch any of those videos? Do you ever watch any of the vault cleaning videos?"
No, I love that. It's just funny. It's just funny.
So it's just like, why? It's 1600 power. It's not masterworked. It has 0 kills. Why do you still have that in your vault?
Why do you still have?
Yeah, and it's just like, and he's like,
way.
and the content creators were the worst. Like, I don't do gun reviews, but especially people who do gun reviews, and he'd do like follow-ups. Hey, did you do that review? No, I didn't. It was just, the shame was hilarious, because honestly, that's the biggest thing about this. There are a few, and I will say, it is only PvP people who are rewarded. PvE, if you're just a PvE player, you really get nothing out of all weapons because they're all power crept. I'm not going to go use a Go figure in PvE at this point because there is way better stuff that I can use that is going to make it pretty much useless. So I'm not going to go back to a Go figure. It's still in my vault because I have that weapon, and I have a Dread Adventure, which is the sniper rifle I used for Whisper when I beat it long ago. Like truly nostalgic purposes for like 2 weapons. I got rid of everything else. I would never pull either of those out for much use nowadays because we just have better perks, better weapons that outshine us in PvE. Now PvP,
I think that's why they did this, by the way.
I think so too.
They finally killed it is because they thought sunsetting would stop power creep, and it didn't. Because they found out that in order to replace the old stuff, they needed to give you better items anyway. And so power creep happens regardless because people just weren't okay with having a weapon that was
sunsetting should have actually been real. It just was not implemented well. That was the biggest thing. If they could have implemented,
you can't do it halfway.
It's like they let us keep our stuff.
If you stop sunsetting things, it only makes sense to then make the sunset weapons no longer sunset. So I get why they did this, but I'm still on team. Sunsetting should have been. They should have actually fully done it, and then this wouldn't be a problem.
Well, like, but for your PvP hardcore players, like, here's a Mindbender's ambition that Ill Physics Tony had it. Range master work. You've got accurized mag for range. You've got rifled. Forget what that one's called, but it's like +7 range and stability. Slide shot and quick draw. Like perk combinations that aren't even like in the game or almost not really available. They'll be missed. So I find it hilarious, but overall it's like it's not gonna affect me too much because nothing I would have kept really would have mattered now. But it's just one of those. It is funny, as Travis said. They were very clear. You can get rid of it. It's not coming back. We're not gonna go back on this one. They went back on it 3 months later from the first decision, which didn't help anything in the first place. And then now this far later, 3.5 years later, they're like, "Oh yeah, those use crazy people who kept them."
Remember, there were a bunch of people that were like, I feel like they just implemented sunsetting to get rid of Recluse and a few weapons.
then
Yes,
Now even
those are
those
yes,
people are like, you weren't even
yes.
right about that. They literally, this confirms that they were just making it up as they went and had
Yep.
no like agenda. They were just kind of trying stuff, and
Yep.
Yeah,
it's very interesting to see this now come full circle. It's like now
yeah,
it's just literally right back to where we started with
Yeah.
no sunsetting at all.
yeah.
Well, and
They,
it's
they,
Except for all the
they,
weapons you lost in the process.
And
which
then
is
now they're just going
unfortunate.
to reissue them with origin traits and different perks that fit into the
That's
Exactly.
even
sandbox.
worse, dude.
Well, I
It's
know
like,
we're
hey,
getting all the
sorry,
old stuff back now. I'm like,
yeah. Let's go.
no way
I'm
to
loving
recover
this.
your
This is
weapons,
great.
but we're gonna reuse
this
it
is
as even more
perfect.
content.
oh,
Let's go.
how many drops in episodes are going to be reissues now?
Woo! With the face on it, with the origin trait. Let's go. This is great. Y'all not happy? I am excited.
No,
I
I think
am
Yeah.
bubbling
I don't know
with
if we
joy.
said that. I don't know if we
I
said this
love
before the show. I don't know if we
Right.
said this before the show or Travis did, but it's like, this feels like another one of those steps that leads more and more to and the rumors and everything else about
What does the
all
rumors lead to? What does it lead to? Tell me.
D3
All
feels
right.
like
Oh, y'all getting on board the way I want this game to go.
So,
Let's go.
yeah,
Let's
you
go.
missed me talk about this in the pre-show, Cog, but I
Yeah.
was not on team D3 is a certainty until this
know.
announcement, because
Until
it
now.
just it shows me so much that they're just like, screw it, do what
Yup.
you want, have fun, the game's on its way out, last hurrah.
Woo.
That's kind of what it feels like.
Welcome, brother, to D3, which is what I wanted from the beginning.
mean,
This is
we've been
literally
asking-
what I've been begging for.
Yeah, we've
Continue.
been asking for D3 for. Well, I mean, the systems that they have, like, this is another prime example, because the reason fire team power is something that they wanted to do, but they were limited by the power level. Like, they have an old system clashing with the new system that they want to do, so now they're just overriding the old system. It's like, it's again all the spaghetti that is in place, not to
the
use
spaghetti code.
I was like trying not to use that metaphor, but it's like all of the systems that are in place are, as you said, different teams that have been through the game over time and stuff. It does need a fresh beginning between the systems, the content. Like, we don't need to do the same strikes over and over. We don't want to see the same weapons. Now, I don't know if we have said this yet, or this was just like was catching up on some other things talking about D3, or it might have been Unknown Player, and I think Bifed, one of their rare podcasts that they do. The biggest thing about D3, that whole entire new set of weapons that I'm going to go for, that all better be fresh. If they reissue stuff in D3, I'm going to be pissed.
They're gonna reissue.
Now,
You
if
know,
they do the
Come on.
occasional one, if they do like, here's
This
one, but I mean,
come on. You gonna get the remix many times.
Oh,
This
yeah.
Bungie, we know our parents. Stop acting like we don't know who our parents are. We know
Yeah,
how
you're
they do.
yes, I know
gonna be
them,
running
but
with
I'm just
that,
saying, I would
No
prefer
Land Beyond. Yep.
it
we gonna see
better
the
be
D1 joints.
really, really,
Hung
really
Jury
limited.
2028.
Yeah.
Well,
You'll
hung
get the
jury.
Everybody in
2028
chat's
Hung
just
Jury.
like, no.
Swinging.
No, okay, so
Well
no,
hung.
somebody in chat's like, no, not even one. That's the biggest thing, is like D3
That
better
one
not
the
have...
remix.
No,
Yes.
no.
Oh yeah.
If
You're
they're
Yes,
gonna
I
do
know,
a
right?
real D3,
It's not about whether or not you want it, E. I think we all understand better weapons are better than old ones. I'm saying it's going to happen. It is going to happen.
For sure.
Well,
Without question.
Yeah, finish your morning
anywho,
so I can talk, because I want to talk
no,
about the
go.
party. There's a
Say
party
whatever you're
going
gonna
on.
say. Say whatever. You're
Let's
way too
go. This is
excited
what
for all the
this is what I
weird
was waiting for
reasons.
this one. Look, man, look. All jokes aside, even though it definitely validates what everything I wanted them to do, which is to stop holding on to this old spaghetti code game that needs dedicated servers, all these technical things that they clearly can't do, and they're trying to extend the life of this old, decrepit product engine. Let's move on. And
So
I
is Destiny
always
2
said,
in the nursing home now, or is it on?
yeah,
Not quite hospice
but
yet, but it's in the nursing home.
That
we love
the
Grandpa,
problem,
but it's
the problem
time.
the problem with that is that this doesn't even necessarily fix their problems.
It's
Like,
okay. It's all better with a new engine. It's all better with a new
you're not
coat of
guaranteed a
paint.
new engine. You're not guaranteed a new engine either.
But we're getting
And
new
also,
tech.
if you're with even an
Mhm.
old game, you can switch engines and you can you can upgrade the tech. Then they've done that during the life of D2.
Mhm.
So I don't think it guarantees either the benefits you want. Really, the thing I think they gain from it that is like undeniable is they get the renewed interest from audience that is done with D2. And
That's the biggest thing.
Better hardware. Let's get rid of them old dudes still holding on with their old generation consoles.
But you can
holding
do that
us back with their
D2.
lowest common denominator. I
You
want
can do that in D2. They did it with D1 when they sunset the Xbox 360.
Yeah.
And that would probably be the one thing they can do in D2 that would fix the vast majority of their engine, like not engine problems, but their performance and capacity problems with what they can actually fit into the game. So I think they have to do that even if Destiny 3 doesn't exist. I think they'll do it after Final Shape.
Yes, I think it's coming sooner than we think.
I think it'll be before D3. Yeah.
Yeah. All jokes aside, look, for me, this is a super net positive for another reason. And we just got to be real. For us, what we want to call us the 5% of the hardcore that we've grinded for these weapons, we blood, sweat, and tears, and we're like, damn, there's these very emotional roles or emotional grinds that we did that we would love to have continue those weapons. I get that emotionality. I feel that, right? But we also have to be real in that those unique perk combinations are very rare. They're outliers. There are so many guns that archetypes are way better currently right now than those old guns, and they either have origin traits or they're just better naturally if you compare them 1-to-1. So that's the second thing. But the third thing for me, this is the number one reason why I love this, and we're going to get into it more with a lot of stuff that they're doing, is one of the main complaints from people who leave Destiny. They're like, yo, you disrespected me by making me grind for all that, and I can't use this anymore. F this game. I'm out. I've heard this many times. Like, people like the casual guy, this is all to bring the casual in. You what? You don't worry about power level? We got you. You don't want to worry about that. Yo, your fire team, who's the strongest? We got you. You didn't grind. You haven't played. You haven't done anything. You got all the stuff that you play from D2 vanilla. You could use that. This is the most easiest way to onboard the person who just completely either gave up Destiny or wants to come back to Destiny. And with all these things they're doing, this is like 0.1 of 3 of this mission to get engagement. Remember what I told you, this is all about engagement for them to get everybody back. The way the raid's set up, the way the launch is set up, everything is towards the casual and the new player. And I think it's going to work. I think this is the things that they're doing are really cool to bring people who have given up on Destiny. We'll see if it works, but I think it's a great start of this plan.
It's not going to happen in D2.
D3 or D2? I'm sorry. What you mean?
Yeah, I'm saying I don't think this change is going to help the health of Destiny 2. I think the new content is the best chance they have of that. But even if that fails, D3 is like the best thing they could do to renew interest. I literally have casual friends who have no idea what's going on in Destiny, and when they hear me talk about Destiny or they ask about it every once in a while, their tagline is, "Yeah, I'm just gonna wait for D3." Like in a casual's mind, they assume Destiny 3 is a foregone conclusion, and they're just like, yeah, I don't care about any of the expansions, just call me when the new game comes out and I'll jump back in. Like I've heard so many of my like uber casual friends say that. So I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, to me that's the biggest argument for doing it.
Yeah, to me it all leads to the same road, right? And it's just like, to me, it's like there's people who have given up because of the way Bungie moves, and they want changes. They don't like the way it is. They want people that want it to have a concise narrative, and there's people that want a new game, right? And to me, this is all accelerating those three things. That's why this is the big hurrah for them to try to nail the final shape and then transition to D3 post episode, as quickly as they possibly can. So that's what I look at it.
Yep.
Overall,
Yeah, I mean, now this is definitely another sign. To me, it's another nail in that coffin of like, yeah, they're probably doing D3.
Yeah.
There was one question.
I can't see them acting this recklessly.
Yeah. This is we're getting too much. We're getting too much.
Prismatic is kind of like a beta test, but PvP is going to be broken. Sunsetting, going completely back. One too many things in here. There was an interesting question from Joe. It's like, so is Christopher Barrett heading up D3 after he left Marathon? I didn't actually think about that.
He's still at Bungie, right?
He's still at Bungie, I'm pretty sure. I don't know if there's like a gummy bear thing or if he's back on this maybe. Be curious to see if he's... I don't know, there's like all those code names for the projects they were working on. I forget what's what. So I don't know if he's on like the other unknown one that's not canned, because there was... Matter, I think, is like dead. I heard that actually just straight up died. Then you've got Marathon, D2, and maybe a D3.
Wait, which one was Project Gummy Bears?
No,
that was the one...
No, I'm saying go look up code names. I'm not making that up. There's truly something out there. I'm not just like making it up.
There is
But I
something
don't
called
know
Project
what it
Ebontis.
is,
I want to
that's
know
the
what
thing,
that
like,
was. I
yeah.
want to know what Bungie was working on that was called Project Gummy
I love that the studio naming conventions for code names is very funny to me because every
Yes.
studio has its own rules, or some of them don't have rules. But like Tim Schafer told me that all of his games are code named after hole in the wall bars in Chinatown in San Francisco, like dive bars.
That's
Dive bars in
hilarious.
Chinatown, San Francisco. They all have the names of different Chinatown bars. It's very funny to me.
That's hilarious. Oh, it looked like it was Project Gummy Bears was a MOBA that they were supposed to be working on.
Oh,
Funny.
okay.
That didn't work.
Yeah,
Last I
yes.
checked, we didn't have a MOBA.
Yeah,
I bet you it
lots
was
of
with
film
Destiny characters.
That would be interesting. Yeah. Project.
Because didn't we have
Gummy
rumors
Bear.
of like a hero shooter as well that
Mhm.
was going to be like Destiny themed?
Well,
I
isn't
bet
that
you
what
that's why they let multiplayer die for so long because they moved all the resources over to
over there? Yeah.
Marathon. But I bet you they had some other like idea at some point for what
Mhm.
multiplayer was supposed to be.
Yeet. What's up, E?
Oh no, I'm just kind of letting you guys talk and stuff like that to
Mhm.
talk through all this, and apparently I got distracted by Discord as well, trying to figure something out
Nah,
that I
you
don't
good.
know if something
Yeah, I was
is
like,
or isn't
something
happening.
has
No,
his
yeah,
attention. I was
somebody
like,
is.
wait.
I'm trying to, yeah,
Nah, you good.
I know what he's distracted with.
yeah.
Was he distracted?
I'll tell you later, baby girl.
Well, Travis, I don't know if it's actually happening now because they were looking at something, so that's what I was like. Either way, so obviously what caused all this crazy sunsetting and likely more and more signs of D3 being a thing, and what feels like we're gonna have like 2 years of episodes before they launch something else that comes. Who knows? I don't
Hey,
know.
Cog.
Yo.
Random question.
Yes.
Do you want to announce me and D as a couple for the first time?
Ooh, introducing. Oh,
Yeah.
that's fire. I kind of like that.
There you go.
You wanna do that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, cool.
I was like, I don't know if you can turn that one down, man. gotta have
Yeah.
to
I
with
mean,
the
he
ass.
could, but I was just thinking about it. I was like, he might be the guy I know who has the best voice, and he's gonna be at my wedding.
Let's
You
do
should
it. Oh,
definitely
hell
do it.
yeah.
Yeah,
Hell
dude.
yeah. Oh, yeah,
Cool.
let's do it.
Just to be clear, though, we are not Mr. and Mrs. We are Lord and Lady Northup.
Oh, let's go. It's
Yeah,
even perfect.
so-
We're in the
Well,
realm.
then he has
that is
to,
official.
yeah.
That is officially in the paperwork. So that is
Bringing these
my
two
legal
great
name.
families together. The Lord and Lady. Oh, let's go. That's fine. Oh, absolutely. It would be an honor to do that.
Thanks, Carl.
Absolute
Sorry for
honor.
interrupting your show. E. It just
No,
popped
that's
in my
fine.
head.
I
you're
would
good.
love
That's
that. I
totally
love
fair.
stuff like that. Let's do it.
Cool.
Anyway, what I was gonna say is all of the chaos that's led to Twitter exploding and people being mad and not caring and Dado shutting down all vault cleaning
I
and
just
all
like
the other
Dado
stuff.
abuse.
Oh,
The
dude,
Dado
yeah,
abuse is
I
fun.
find it funny. Yeah, he's just like,
This man literally did that.
done, whatever.
Did you see Fallout says my legal team will be
Oh yeah,
contacting you?
I was watching Fallout stream because I was doing something else, and I was like, I read through the TWAB, and I got to this point, I was like, and Fallout and Aztecross usually do like live readings. I was like, let me see what Fallout says, and I literally saw him switch over to Twitter and type it to him. So yeah, I got to see
it's
the
so
live
funny.
post.
Because just real quick before we move on, what was the origin of Dado doing it? So Dado started a thing where he's like, "Hey, I'm tired of all you hoarders. We're gonna make a series. You're gonna delete these. What are you keeping these weapons for? Like, how did this whole? What was the genesis of it, of him creating? If you know at all,
What, the vault
the
cleaning?
Dado vault cleaning.
Oh,
thing.
I mean, honestly, I think it was he and Fallout. It was just more of a joke at first because he was just like,
Okay.
I mean, Fallout asked him and I think he and Fallout did it first, and he was just like, hey, help me clean my vault. It's probably one of those content creator ideas, and then
Yeah.
it just went from there. But then the views did way better than it probably was. So
Yeah,
then
it took
everybody hit
off.
up Dado to be like, hey, I want one of those for my channel, and that's
Right.
where it went from there. But it was always. And he ended up making one video. It was just like him kind of going through the process of like how to clean it. I think he did an April Fool's joke one time of just him deleting random bullshit out of his vault. Just like it's been a whole thing, but it's just been kind of a fun meme and joke. But at this point, it's like the reason he had to do those in the first place is because a whole bunch of people are staring at weapons that, as he would say, it's like, why is the 1600 power level? You don't have it masterworked. You don't have a kill counter tracked on it. When's the last time you touched this?
Yep.
Get rid of that crap out of your vault. And it's like,
does it spark joy?
Yeah, it does.
Right?
Is there a purpose for this? Or are you just like hoping?
Does
it's
it
usually a
spark
lot of
joy?
copium.
If not, you hold X.
Yes.
As Marie
It
Kondo
is
would say.
so funny how the community is tagging him on this. I think it's the funniest thing ever.
He has to change his username to Fallout Dismantles.
E?
Sorry.
No, you good. You good. My host is a little distracted, so make sure you're good.
Yeah, a
that
little
you're
bit, little
okay.
bit. So fire team power and all of kind of the power level changes that are it feels like more and more power level also is less of a thing because they're gonna pick your difficulty half the time anyway, but then power level does technically exist in a couple of places. So one of the ways that power level is going to be changing is fire team power. So the player with the highest power level in the fire team will be the power leader. Then all other players in the fire team will be brought up to that power level, or at least 5 levels below it. So even if your friend jumps in at like 1905 and they want to go run a Nightfall with you, they're not going to get punished if they have something to shoot weapons with and you can drag them through a here Nightfall. They're not going to get just beat down for joining the activity. So they're really easing the road of like, if you have something you can shoot enemies with and you got a buddy who can drag you through it, you'll go in there.
Cool.
So if you have a buddy and they play a lot more than you, so you're worried about that, they're actually going to benefit you by being the higher power level. If you have one of
Hey,
those crazy people
Sinister.
who grind a little more than you, they're going to have a
Hey, Sin.
little more power level.
Ducky.
And it's also going to show your adjusted power level, which I do appreciate. So it's going to show what your power level is at like 1950, but your adjusted power level for the activity is 1995 when the power level is 2000. They did cover the caps.
1995, year I was born.
Yeah.
The power bands
Oh,
are going to be shorter as well.
Mhm.
So you're going to start
Power
at
bands?
1900, like the minimum and maximum.
Oh,
So they mentioned, because previously it was like a 200, 150 power level. This is the shortest grind we've had. So the
Yeah.
floor, like everything in your vault, everybody log in on Final Shape Day is going to be 1900. So we're just bumping up 100 power level for logging in on that Tuesday, which usually they didn't do. Normally we would kind of start at 1800 and go up to 2000. So they're bumping us up 100. The soft cap is going to be 1940. So you're going to get through that in about 5 minutes. And then the powerful cap is 1990 with the hard pinnacle cap at 2000. Now, if you can't tell me that the hard pinnacle cap of 2000 is the place they're going to leave that hard pinnacle cap for the rest of this game, I think they're crazy. There's no way you get to 2000 and be like, all right, well, we'll do one more thing. It's going to be 2200. I think it's going to stay there because they didn't raise the power level for seasons, and I don't think they're going to be doing it for episodes. That would be a guess. This feels like the final shape, the final power level.
Mhm.
So that will be the levels you'll go through, but they kind of mentioned this change should allow new lights enough time to get familiar with the core Destiny game power system, gear power system before stepping into the broader game without holding them back. So again, they go from 1900 to 1940, which really doesn't take you long to go through like 40 power levels when you're just playing. But then they get into the soft cap. They don't have to go through 150 power levels if they don't do the campaign just to start seeing how powerful gear drops and all that stuff works. Because when you hit the soft cap, that's when like the directory changes and all that stuff. They'll hit it a lot quicker. If you complete the campaign on legendary difficulty, you'll be rewarded with an entire gear set at 1960. Now that's actually lower than I thought.
Yeah, I thought that would be higher.
It's like the powerful cap is 1990, so you're still going to have 40. Did we just go to powerful cap before? Or did we get farther through it?
Travis can't remember. For some reason, I remember when we did Legendary Witch Queen. I thought it kind of put us right where we would need to be.
it put you within like 20 power. So you were like you had a very small grind from
But
doing
this is
expert to
so
getting
this is
higher level.
so powerful
But
grind
there
is
was
going to be
also
40 points.
There was
Ooh.
also a seasonal item which let you upgrade more. So I feel like that alleviated the grind a little bit because you could just rely on the seasonal artifact. And this, we're not gonna have an artifact presumably. I don't know how they're handling that because there's no season.
Yeah, interesting. Do we get an artifact? E? Do you think we get one?
So I do believe it was Katarina Macedo. What is she?
Oh, yeah.
Producer.
Yeah.
Hold on, I want to read her words if I
What
can.
she say? What Katarina say?
If I can spell it right. There she is. So April 19th. Good question. You get progression on your artifact and season pass from day one of the final shape launch. There's a lot of people who seem to be questioning this. I'm like, we're getting an artifact. Season pass, day one. It's what we do. But at least she confirmed it. So yes, you will have an
But
artifact.
she did confirm that even though
100%.
seasons are over, it is going to be episodes.
It's an episode pass. What have you? They're calling it a season pass just probably for like
Got it.
normal game vernacular, just so people understand
Got
that
it.
it's a season pass. But it's
Mhm.
going to be an episode pass. It just probably sounds weird to say that.
Got it. I see what you're saying. Just terminology.
More
Okay.
info to come on Twitter in the next few weeks leading up to final shape, but yes, it will be there. So if you are going to bounty prep, it's not going to go to
Mhm.
waste. That will definitely still
Yeah.
count. And I just saw more questions about than I thought, because I even put a video about bounty prepping on Sunday.
Right.
And I've had multiple people ask questions like, are we really going to have an artifact? They already told us the artifact's going to have the normal 25. Then on
Okay.
Act 2, we get 5 more mods, whether it's
like
I don't know if it's
another
going to be a
line.
vertical or if it's going to
Got
go
it.
which way.
Right,
It's
right.
probably going to
Okay.
be vertical for just more options.
Mhm.
And then Act 3, you get another 5. So you're going to end up with like 35 total, I think, for the artifact
Mhm.
that you go through. Season Pass, I think, is also going to go up to like 200.
Mhm.
Now, I don't know if 100 through 200 is like exciting stuff, but I think they did say stuff is going to be in the 100 to
Okay.
200 that's worth getting, besides just when you get to I think right now once you get to 100, like every 3 you get an engram or some basic stuff.
Mhm.
I think they're going to put a little more in the 100 to 200. I'd have to go back and clarify that one to be sure. So
Got it.
those two will be cooking, and the seasons are going to be longer, which they actually get into that piece as well.
Mhm.
So activity power, that's going to be
Mm.
power disabled. So now it's just going to
Yes.
you're going to play the activity at the power level we want it to be. There's
Right.
no over leveling, there's no whatever. You are just going to play if we want this to be, and they actually changed the naming
This
scheme
is
on some.
contest mode raid.
Hold on.
They've kind
So
of. Sorry, I'll let you finish.
they cover a couple of these, so here, let me get through all of it. So activity disabled. Power disabled activities include campaigns, both normal and legendary. So you're just going to play those as is. Seasonal story, free roam
Whoa.
destinations, Crucible, and some legacy content.
Travis has issues.
No, that's freaking awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so you play the
Yeah,
campaign.
dude, I don't
barriers,
want
bro.
I don't want to have to grind to enjoy activities. Like making you
think
do
they-
homework before.
Yeah, they capped us.
You're saying my understanding is that they're just setting you at the level that it feels good, right? And then
Yeah,
they're letting you go.
your
Mhm.
number's not going to matter. You're just going to go in and play the mission as difficulty specified. Period.
Dude, yes.
Fire.
Yeah. I'm
And
fine
this
with
is-
that
Yeah.
because what was
Yeah.
it before? You'd go from like, oh, you need 1720, and the next episode or the
And then
next
you gotta
mission
go- you gotta
needed
go
like
do public
1760 or
events and
something.
shit.
Do all that.
Yeah,
Now it's
nonsense.
just campaign.
These are some of the best
Hell
updates
yeah.
to onboard people. And the thing is, they've been flirting with this not to interrupt you, with the seasonal content model.
Oh yeah,
Lately, they've been like, yo, you just jump in and then we scale it
yeah.
for you.
It's going to be
You know what I'm
5
saying?
below your power level, this is just a different way to do that. Instead of disabling
Exactly.
power, because it would be your power level -5, so it was just in effect being like that. This is just going to be, you are this level, which we decide, and the enemies are here. That's it. You don't need
Yep,
to know the
that's it.
numbers. That's just how difficult things are going to be.
Mhm.
Power enabled activities, by comparison, are where you grow stronger by improving your power. These each have an activity power cap, or a power level at which you have achieved the maximum effectiveness. We've improved our UI to show you exactly what these activity power caps are. So for Vanguard Ops, if you hit 1945, power cap achieved. So if you are high enough to do that, then you can go. They almost feel like they're going farther.
Vanguard Ops is just bullshit though, right? It's just
Yeah, that's just
strikes.
basic strikes. That's why it's
Yeah.
soft power cap plus like 5.
Stupid.
Yes. Power enabled
Enemies
activities,
will have a
Nightfall. Sorry. Oh, yeah, you're right there. I'm sorry. Continue.
Yeah, no. Enemies will have a set feel for how tough they are, even at the cap. But you will notice yourself getting stronger as your power level grows. Power enabled activities include Vanguard Ops, Nightfalls, seasonal activities, exotic mission rotators, trials, raids, and dungeons.
So power still required for those.
Enemies will have a set feel for how tough they are, even at the cap. But you will notice yourself getting stronger as your power level grows.
Yeah.
As it grows to it or above it. Like, because right now you can kind of over level some stuff.
Mhm.
I'm trying to decide if you can overlevel anything anymore, if it's all just basically set. That line is,
That's a good question.
I
That's a good
can't
question.
quite. What do you
Yeah, because it's
guys?
not
Am I?
explicit. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
not, you're making a good point. It's not very explicit that we can over level and then make yourself feel more powerful once
yeah,
you pass
because
that cap,
because
right? So to speak.
Grandmaster versus a Master Nightfall, you can overlevel a Master Nightfall, but
Correct.
Grandmasters is you're kind of set the way they do
Right.
that cap and they bring it
If I
down.
had to guess, I'm gonna say I'm gonna lean that they probably keep it set.
I mean, I'm hoping it's that. So like, it just
Mm.
also feels more and more that and they actually get down to it. Every power enabled activity falls into one of 5 difficulty tiers. So you got standard, 1945. Advanced. This now just sounds like difficulty options instead of previously hero. 1995 power cap. Expert,
Right.
previously legend. That's 2005 power cap. Master is 2010, and then Grandmaster is 2020 for a power cap.
Let me ask you a question because I understand. I'm getting a little confused with one other thing because they said the statement as far as power enabled activities includes the Vanguard playlist, Nightfall, seasonal activities, exotic mission rotators, Trials of Osiris, raids and dungeons. So for raids and dungeons, right? The question is, will the fire team power riser thing not work in that? Like, say for example, if I wanted to bring 5 rookies into the Last Wish, they are not going to get power crept up because it's a raid.
They should, but it's going to be
Okay.
based on your level.
Based on whoever's
Both
the
of these
highest.
systems should be in effect at the same time. So the
That's my
fire
question.
team power should still be in effect. So if you're
Mhm.
going into Legend Nightfall and it needs to be 2005 and you are 2000.
Okay.
Take that example. Your
Mhm,
people that you bring with you, 2, 3, 4, however many go into that activity, they are going to be 1995.
So they're not exempt because it's okay.
Yeah, so you'll bump them up, but again, the activity will still have its effect, but you'll
Right.
bring the people
But at least I'll be
up
able to
to
bring them
your
up,
level.
though.
Yeah, you'll bring them up, but you'll still
That's
have to
key.
like either
Okay.
hit the cap or
Right.
face the difficulty that's above where you are.
And
Is the way I'm
trials as
reading
well.
it.
That's the way I'm reading it too. So I just wanted to make sure they were not separate. Okay. No, that's cool. That's cool.
Contest mode will be 1965. Not going to be hard to
So
hit that one.
That one you have to get to, right? There's
Yeah,
still a grind.
contest mode, you'll
Yeah,
still
you
have to
gotta
get to
do that.
1965, but if you do the legend campaign, you'll be 1960.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God, that's
So
so
between
easy.
between that
Is
Easy.
that
and the artifacts, it's not really going to matter. The artifacts mostly
Yeah.
for other stuff.
Oh damn. Okay.
Yeah, it's gonna be easy,
So,
which will
we can hit that
compensate.
hella quick.
Yeah, which will compensate the shortness in the time of turnover when the raid goes live for that week.
The main reason to bounty
that's
prep,
good.
which still seems to hold true, is going to be unlocking the artifact mods to try and see if you can get some build
Yes.
options. And then the season pass, if there's a episode exotic that has got a cool catalyst or something, you can
Mhm.
kind of speed through that process a little
Look at
faster.
Addict in the chat. Hold
what's
on,
up,
because he's a
Addict?
raid guy. He was
Oh, yeah.
so mad about them not giving us the short amount, usually the 1 week raid prep. This is huge. This is because he's one of those guys. He was so angry at Last Wish when he was like, I grinded or whatever it was, and I'm still not even strong
It's
enough.
him and Fran Mirabella that
And
just
Fran
can't let that.
Mirabella, they
They're
had
the only
legit
2 people who
points.
can't let it go. The power
Yeah.
per hour. Yeah.
Power per hour. He was like, yo, I
Power per hour.
have to be lucky. This is so like the way they did this was
Like they
horrible.
that hasn't been an issue in so long though. Like it is
True.
okay to let it go now.
But the reason why it's important because this is a
I
reason
just want to know
Addict
something
left.
about power per hour.
Let's go.
Well, it's based off like
So-
an IGN metric, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I already told you guys this. It's based
great
on an
story.
IGN metric of like
Mhm.
how much effort and manpower hours it takes to create content. And so one of the criticisms of IGN podcasts internally is, oh, we do all these podcasts and they only get like 40,000, 50,000 views, which is not a lot at IGN.
Mhm.
And then there were certain people in the company, including Fran, unsurprisingly, when he was
What
at
Fran
IGN,
say? What Fran say?
who would say it's not about how many views, it's about how many views you get for the hours of work you put in. And podcasts only take 3 or 4 people and 1 hour to create, and they make
Mhm.
50,000 views. Whereas a review that might make 1 million views takes
Mhm.
like 7
Oh, yeah.
people and
Yeah,
like,
it's a lot.
50 hours if
Yeah,
you're having to
because
review the
podcasts
game
don't
and
have a
like
lot of
video
editing.
it.
Exactly, yeah.
Exactly.
Mhm.
And so literally the power per hour argument in Destiny is an extension of Fran's.
Shout out to my man Fred.
It literally is him just taking that argument and applying it to a video game, which is the funniest part about it because they would have the same arguments in the IGN
Yes.
office about like views per hour. And then
Hour.
when it came to Destiny, they would talk about powers per hour. And so
That
it's just
is
such
hilarious.
a funny little
bro.
origin story. Yeah.
That was the funniest Fire Team Chat episode, Trav.
No, I think the
I've
funniest.
never seen. What
No, I
did
was
you know
just
the
gonna say,
funny
I
story?
think the funniest one for me was the fact that somebody spoiled Avengers Endgame, I think, for Fran on Fireteam chat. I feel like that
They did.
happened.
They did.
Bro, he
Yep.
was
It was
so hot.
Steve. Steve
I
just
think it was
casually. No, I think it was
casually spoiled
CJ
it?
who got spoiled, but I can't. Yeah, it was.
Can't remember who.
Somebody
Somebody's
got
like, "You
spoiled.
haven't seen it," and I was like, and it just didn't feel like enough time had passed or whatever.
Yeah.
And something, I was like, I would. Be
Oh, it
pissed
was
if
like
they-
the next week. It was a
Yeah.
totally inappropriate
Yeah.
time to
Bro,
say
because
that.
we've had some classic debates, but Fred's fighting everyone on that
Yeah.
power per hour and his frustration with the way they handle
Fine,
the
Attic,
sword
you can
cap
hang
and
on
the
to your
prep.
He was right, 100%.
Yeah, he went in, and I remember Attic was like, bro, he was so disgusted. We couldn't get past the first encounter because his light. He was like, I grinded, I did everything I was supposed to do in this stupid random. No, he was pissed. He was pissed. Yeah, so this is good. This is good. We get some retribution for Fred and Addict right now, so they're happy.
He was right, by the way. Oh, also, he offered to be on the show, so we should do that.
Ooh, let's go. Let's
did?
make that happen.
Fran, I talked to him after the last Fire Team chat he was on, and he was like, by the way, I've been meaning to talk to you about your show. And I was like, yeah, we should have you on. He said that he's down.
Oh, we
So.
gotta get the Marabella. Let's get it.
You get him here. We would have to change the time, though. He can't do
Yeah.
Thursday nights, so we'd have to just do
Okay.
like a special
Special
time.
episode.
I mean, we've done that for a few, so that's
We've done it
fine.
before.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the homie right there. Salute, friend.
I think I met him and Destin at the first Guardian Con where I met
yes.
you because it was in the
Yeah, that's
wing bar or something across the street. Like he and Fran were sitting there like having wings, and I remember seeing them and just went up. I was like, watched you on IGN kind of thing. I went up and introduced myself like an idiot.
literally.
Yep.
That was just the that's where I met you, the Destiny
Yep.
Club. But prior to that, they were actually I met them together inside the actual event.
Oh,
They were
nice.
together. I was like, oh, that's good. That was like the early iteration because at that time, what was it? It was him. I'm trying to think. Fran, who was the third? Did they have a third at
I
the
mean,
time? It was
CJ,
just-
Sean Finnegan was in there. Jose Otero was early start, right?
so many iterations
They've
of
gone
it, but I'm
through
trying to
quite a
remember.
few.
Eve.
At that time was Fran, Destin.
I think it was just those two that I saw there.
two.
from
Yeah, I think it was
IGN
just those two, maybe, right?
that made
I don't
the
think
trip. At
CJ
least.
came on at that point.
No, well, I think those
And
are
then
the only
Chomp
two who
Chomp,
made the
shout
trip.
out,
Yeah,
Chomp.
Chomp, yeah.
Yeah, shout out to Chow. He's always
Oh
doing.
boy.
Isn't there? Yeah, I was like, you've
Face
mentioned
shots.
something about him too, so don't worry about that.
I
You're
know.
good.
I can't think of Sean
I know where your mind's going.
No, I know.
We know.
Anyway, back to the TWID.
Back to the TWID.
So the artifact bonus power, they did say they're rebalancing it to offer more meaningful and rewarding progression given the other upcoming changes. So with the additional time offered by each episode, we've increased the number of weeks. Seasonal challenges will be available, and therefore, and the buff to the XP. Basically, the artifact is going to take longer to level up, is what I'm reading here. It's not going to level up quite as fast because it lasts longer, and you're going to need more XP to level it up. So it's going to be a little more of a grind if you're trying to get to that final tier of perks in that first few days, but not going to be sleeping much anyway.
Right.
So we'll see how that one goes. Account-wide power. This also goes to your power per hour out the window. Titans, Hunters, and Warlocks. Most of us primarily just play one. Of course we do. Starting in the final shape, the gear rewards you earn on any character will drop with a power level relative to the highest power character on your account. So it used to just be weapons that would carry over, because weapons are universally applicable to all of your characters you move back and forth. Now your armor is going to affect it as well. So level up your power of your Hunter, and when you switch over to your Titan and your Warlock, the gear rewards you earn will be around your Hunter's level. The exact power of rewards still depends on the source, same thing as before, but the power you earn on one character will positively influence the rewards you get on the others. Now, granted, as we have a week, and you don't have a weekly reset in there, I still feel like if you're going to raid with a certain character, starting with the other one, getting your buffs there, I guess it really doesn't matter, will it? But I guess if you're trying to get drops on that highest character, playing the one you want to raid with last is still going to be important.
Yeah, that's the old hustle. This is huge, man. This
But
is
yeah,
this.
just if I go jump on my hunter now, he's going to be 8. You'll just play for a little bit, and every drop's going to be there. That's
Bro, that's just what always my major beef with Destiny was. It just the disrespect of the time, and that was the only thing I'm proud of myself for the most part of my history of me playing Destiny. I did not acquiesce. You know what it took me to acquiesce? It was 7 years in, and they made the Iron Lord title, and the only way you could get it is if you had to play it with the other 2 characters or do
because
something.
you had to do it within a certain amount of time or something. Yeah,
Exact. So that was the only. I would have stuck to my word for 10 plus years of never maining another subclass, and that's what finally brought my. All right, damn it, you did it. But yeah, it's like, come on, people. There's way too many games out here to sit there and to require a person to dedicate that amount for each individual character is ridiculous when other games have way better systems to onboard you and to respect your time. This was long overdue. Surprised they did this one too. But yeah, this is huge. Yeah, shout out to the Gilded Iron Lord Masters. All right, I see y'all. But yeah, that's the only way that got me to fall. But I would have kept my streak because I'm like, no, Bungie, this is too much. You want me to completely live in your game. And I'm sorry, I got things I got to do. So you're gonna get this Warlock, and that's all you're gonna get for the majority of my career. But this is a huge change. I like stuff like that.
Yeah. I mean, for me, it's just nice that it's more universal. So if I switch over to my hunter, I'm not 20 or 30 levels behind because I don't play it that much. Now it's just going to be trying to optimize that first week. I kind of figure out the best way to go. But after a while, if your armor's not going to be slowly creeping up. You're going to get one drop that's, oh, you're 1760. Well, that next drop is going to be 20 or 2000 or something. You're going, cool. Just speeds the process along to make everything a bit more fluid between your characters. Funny thing is, power boosts are no longer available for sale. But they did make sure to remind you that campaign skips are still available.
Hey, you want to charge? You charge for something?
Yeah.
Well, pay for that campaign skip? Ooh.
Oh,
boy, yeah.
It incentivizes them to make campaigns unbearable so that you'll pay to not play them. I just want to point that out to everyone.
That is fair. That is a
Also
fair
known
point.
as the Lightfall strategy.
Yes. You want to skip? You want to do it?
Hey, do you want to have to hear a guy say "see you on the other side" 2 more times? No? Well, boy, do I have a bundle for you.
We have something for you. Oh,
Yeah.
man. Yeah, slow progress. We're improving with other things. We still slimy with others. Voidlock, shout out to Voidlock, my man. Warlock, baby, no doubt. Salute. All right. Oh, awesome one. Never bought a power boost. Salute to your strength, sir. Salute to your strength.
Not once have I bought a power
Salute
boost.
to your strength.
That's crazy.
Not a campaign
I would
skip, not
rather
a power
just not
boost.
play as the other classes.
I would just rather buy
Like,
silver and actually go buy a random ass cosmetic than you do a power boost. Like, my money is not going to go to a power boost. That is not where it's going to go. Sorry.
You ain't doing that season pass level up too either?
Oh,
probably would've been
now
more
I saw, what
efficient.
was that? I think somebody like
Mhm.
bought all 100 levels just for the experience that they could on day one.
The individual
And
level
that
buyer?
person's name was Paul Tassi.
Besides,
Well, I don't know if it was him, actually. I think somebody did, though. Like, I think it was in one of the
No, I
seasons
know,
where
I'm
they
joking.
unlocked. Well, yeah, it wouldn't be. He would do it for an article and just be a business write-off anyway. But
I bought all 100 levels of silver, and here's the top 4 things you should know.
yeah, for sure.
Dude kind of sound like a Tassie article.
Oh, it does. But no, I remember just for the fact
Number
that
1, I hate myself. Number 2,
you only need number 1. I don't know
Shout out to
if you need a
Tassie,
long
the homie.
article.
number
of
2,
that.
Forbes hates me as well, my employer.
Yeah, they're not a fan of this expense report. They got to approve it because it's already done. But
Mhm.
yeah,
Tassie catches strays.
strays
They're
out
really
here.
not that stray if you've been watching his Twitter this week.
Yeah,
Man,
straight
what was
all.
the one? Oh, there was one that he saw, and I was just like, he has to. Now, granted, he grinds a lot of games. He
Mhm.
always has like more. I'll look down. I mean, you put in a buttload of hours in games too, but I'm always surprised how many hours, especially as a dad. Like, I know he's more at home, and I know his wife's, I think, a doctor, if I remember. But I was like, he always has more hours in games than I expect. But man, some of that has to be pretty passive, I feel. Because he was doing Onslaught, and he was like, on wave 1550, he's done like 1,500 waves.
Yeah, I saw
He
that, I
tweeted
saw
out and
that.
was like, I realized the boss room and that mid-boss room are the same thing. And I was like,
Yeah.
That
I saw
yep.
yeah.
So I was like, I think you just have to be like,
That was funny.
I mean, granted, if
That was
you're
funny.
grinding 1500, that's a buttload of onslaught. So at some point you got to go
That's
numb.
Tassie, though. Tassie doesn't know things unless there's a Reddit thread about it.
Y'all killing my boy.
Sorry.
You gotta leave him
Sorry.
alone.
Sorry, Tassie.
Leave my boy alone.
I
That's
don't know
my
if you're
guy.
watching this episode. We'll have you as
Your
a guest.
boy, I do a show with him. I'm
I
going to be
know.
on camera with him tomorrow.
Travis is just getting everything out now, so he doesn't have to bite his tongue tomorrow. He's just saying everything.
No,
now.
I'm going to do it tomorrow, too. It's going to be fun.
It's a test. Man, got a baby, y'all. Come on.
His wife has 2 babies.
Wow.
Jesus. This man can't live today. Ba-dum-bum. Let's see.
Anyway, for reward power, we've had a lot of
He was just
tangents.
speechless.
I was like, I don't even know how to follow someone.
Tassie.
Yeah,
That
seriously.
Tassie roast over
Yeah,
there.
what's this podcast been? The
Oh
Tassie
God,
roast?
I would love to host a roast, like a proper roast, the chair and everything for Tassie.
Oh.
Oh, it'd be so good.
You have to get
was
Destiny
good.
the meme. You have to get her in there. Because she
Yes.
she ratios him all the time, which is great.
all the time.
Yeah.
Yes, she does.
Yeah.
Let's see. For some time, okay, so reward power. It says for some time now, select activities such as rituals had a chance of dropping a power reward with a +1 for players between the soft cap and the powerful cap in the final shape. We're extending this beyond those select activities to just about every reward source in Destiny 2. This change will help players gradually reach the powerful cap no matter what activities they choose to play. You aren't just limited to the weekly available powerful rewards. Thank God! Like, again, just W after W. Like, you can be mad at the whole sun rising, whatever word choice you want to have for that fun one. But truly,
Talk to me.
go play the game and level up. That's what you should do.
Yes.
Oh,
Don't
no,
be
you
forced.
aren't doing your 3 strikes a week to get your exotic engrams and your public.
rotation.
I'm like,
No, let me play what I want to play.
Our chores.
Yeah, exactly. Like the W's, man. The W's keep coming in. We got to give it up, man. Come on, they going extra hard, extra.
It's a farewell tour, Cog.
but yeah,
I'll get
these are the things. Like when all
Hey,
these,
if we gonna go
okay,
out,
now
we going
here-
out swinging, baby.
Yeah, we're going out swinging, but this makes me worry. It's like we did the D1 to D2. We
I
better not
feel
do
you.
D3 with double primaries again and some.
Oh
they need-
God, if they do that, remember when they said?
Oh, we're doing
Bro,
it.
remember
We're
when he
going back.
said, "What
It's actually
weapon
going
was
to be
it?"
triple primaries. They're getting rid of the power slot.
Bro, what when they didn't have random rolls and they'd be like, yeah, the uniqueness of what they that was the worst thing I think Luke Smith ever said. It was a verbiage that he used about getting a weapon with a static roll. And it was the D2 launch event. And I was just like, oh no, we ain't got no random rolls no more. What's going on? Yeah, they better not revert back too far.
Still think it could have
relax.
worked. The not
Yeah.
random rolls.
That was a time. That was a time. He's distracted, but okay, we're gonna move on.
No,
More
you're good.
power.
I'm letting you guys finish your conversations. It's more fun because sometimes when
No,
you
you're
guys
good.
just riff back and forth, I'm not interrupting and
Nah, you good,
taking
bro.
out
You
a good one. So you aren't limited to play. Additionally, we are improving the power of rewards you purchase from vendors and collections. This one is an annoying one. It's like all items purchased from the vendor will now drop no lower than 3 below your highest possible power. And if you get stuff from collections, it's 5. Why is infusion still a thing?
I was just about to say we're at the point now, like
The infusion doesn't
Yeah.
seem necessary. Like if I'm gonna if I get to a power level, make it drop at my power level. Make me like, what am I pulling from collections and exotic? If I'm pulling an
Yeah.
exotic from collections just for the function of the exotic, I don't want to have to infuse it too. That's what part of my vault is all
Yeah.
of my exotic rolls that actually have good rolls on them. I'm like, hey, this is a better roll than a junkie 48 that's going to come out of my collections. That's why I have those. And
Yeah,
it would be
that's
really
the point.
nice if I didn't have to worry about that for the functionality of, oh, you got this one thing that you need for this one encounter and one raid somewhere ever. No,
I hate
but if I do pull it out, it's going to be under leveled and I don't have anything to infuse into it right now. So I
Yep.
need to keep stuff that's high enough power level so I can infuse stuff later on. It's like,
Yep.
oh my God, really?
Which then turns you to make sometimes sacrifice
Yeah.
semi-decent weapons for
Right.
infusion purposes. So we're getting to the point now that if we're all ripping the band-aid off, infusion is next on the list at some point, because why the life expectancy of the upgrade module is now a concern. right?
Good.
Because
Yeah.
even in the Witch Queen, remember when you would beat a level, part of it on Legendary was to give you upgrade modules so you could keep going and keep whatever. It is interesting to see how they tackle that, because it seems like all the walled gardens towards playing this game and accessing this game is slowly coming down. But I wonder what's the thought process on Infusion for next.
Yeah, I think whether it's getting rid of legendary shards or the possibility of getting rid of the modules that you infuse things with, I wonder what they're actually going to give you in the season passes.
Yeah, that's a good
So
point.
many slots are filled with that, or they're just going to
Oh,
blank
man.
small
Yeah.
slots 'cause
And
there's fewer
materials.
materials,
Yeah, you're right.
or are they going to give you some glimmer? Or
Well, like
I mean, I don't-
sometimes they've
or-
been doing those like what the it's like
I
the
know what you're talking about.
seasonal like
Mhm.
the
The one-
seasonal currency or whatever, you know what I mean, kind of?
Right.
Or like
The seasonal
seasonal
card, and then
engrams.
what's that one that
it should be
allows you to?
the silver dust or whatever. It should be that
You
crap.
know they ain't doing that.
Oh yeah, bright dust would be nice. I mean,
Bright dust.
you get some bright dust in there.
Yeah, a little
Mhm.
bit. Just give us more.
Yeah, and they need a source for
The only reason I think they might do that, Cog, is because you
Mm.
actually have to pay to get access to that. Especially in future episodes, it is paid, so they don't
Right.
lose as much by giving it to players.
Yeah, I mean, I think also the next thing is the thing that they have incorporating in the battle pass, which is the red border giver currency, whatever that module transmitter, whatever the hell that thing is called. Where remember,
Oh
how
yeah,
you don't have enough
deep sight
patterns.
harmonizer.
Deep sight
Yeah.
harmonizer. Thank y'all, Alvin. Like that's the
It
next
just
thing.
rolls off the tongue.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Deep
really
sight
easy
harmonizer.
currency to remember the name of.
Yeah, like that. At this point, you can't have the battle pass as the only source.
Yeah,
to get
that
that.
whole thing is, man.
Why not?
I don't have time to raid, but I need to do some last wish because I need to use up
Yeah.
some deep sight harmonizers from like last season and
Yeah.
this season on just some random drops that I get because I'm close to some of
Mhm.
those weapons. And I would like to check a few of those boxes, but yeah.
Because you get unlucky with those damn patterns sometimes.
So, I mean, there's a lot of quality of life in here, but yeah, it does feel like we're kind of seeing like infusion and stuff. I mean, I'm sitting there thinking about playing No Rest for the Wicked. I get some stuff that's, lower level, then you can, spend some currencies to level it up, but that's just kind of materials that you're leveling up something, but then you find something better that it doesn't. And that's kind of the different thing, I guess, about other RPGs is you typically will find gear that's going to just be better. In Destiny, you can get a weapon to drop at 17, or what is the new power level going to be? You can get a 1901 power level weapon that has good perks, and you're like, oh, this could still be good, and that's why you need this weird infusion system. I don't know. It's like, at this point, just let me pay Glimmer to infuse it, and let me be done.
Yeah.
It feels like, but as you said, also, the season pass would feel empty. What are they going to put in there?
Yeah, what are they
And I feel like almost those being part of Infusion and that whole system feels like it's one of those that's keeping the season pass part alive right now until they figure out what goes in there. It almost feels like that's one makes the other feel a bit more necessary. Like, well, if we take out all those upgrade, but they're only in like the first 30 levels. If you look for upgrade modules, there's nothing in like the back 2/3
the
for
back
upgrade
end.
modules. So you wouldn't have to fill that many gaps, but who knows? We'll see. Pantheon coming up. If you want to look a little more about it, they teased it, but it is next Tuesday. I will be gone next Tuesday, so I'm missing round 1.
See you next Tuesday.
Probably gonna get a little practice. Honestly, if you're doing like day 1 raid, this is a good time to practice day 1 raid type stuff as you get closer and closer if you got a team. And they're going to be doing a creator challenge for, I guess, the first week, or I don't know if they're going to do it for all of them. I think it's just next week. Friendly competition between some of their creators. They did another one this week where they had, I think it was 3 different teams of 3 people. We're trying to see how many waves of Onslaught they could do on Tuesday. I don't know if you guys saw the issue on Onslaught on Tuesday where level 50 Legend was not accessible.
Oh, no.
The portal to the boss room of level 50 was not popping up at Legend. So you went through 49 levels of Legend, and then the portal did not pop up. Now, they had it fixed within 5 hours or so.
So they fixed it in a couple hours?
Yeah.
Yo, it's your lucky day now. You've always wanted to use this weapon. You've grinded. You were unlucky, but now is your time, brother.
Eyes of Tomorrow?
Eyes of Tomorrow is the greatest thing moving in Onslaught. It is the cheese of all cheeses. You just highlight 4 or 5 enemies, kill them, get a rocket back for free, and it's more powerful. People are using it like a primary weapon.
Is it free ammo? Because it just
yes, out of thin air. Because remember they upgraded the perk since we stopped using it. So now if you get at least 4 kills with the first volley, you get a free rocket return to you, and the next set was like 15 or 20% more power. It is now time to shine, brother. It's your time. You grind it, you put in the work, and you never used it. You're like, this weapon's useless. It is your time, brother. Get in there. Onslaught, Eyes of Tomorrow, baby. That's the wave.
My only problem is that I don't want to play Onslaught.
You got to get the shinies now. You got to grind.
Do I?
Man, I got a couple. I got a couple shinies. I got probably the worst shiny.
Worst shinies ever.
Man,
Same.
it is so bad. I did get so I got an Edge Transit that I'm not going to complain because it's explosive light and auto loading holster. Not a bad combo. The other half of it kind of sucks. But the shiny that I got, I think I already deleted it. Yeah, I deleted it. It was a succession. Nothing was good on that thing. It was a little just painful. No, I still have it. I haven't deleted it because I was like, is it really? It has no distractions, redirection, like Vorpal and Discord. Not really anything for PvE that I'm looking for. So that was not great. I went through a level 50 normal today. I was on 1 though with a couple randoms, and it felt like I had a bit of a struggle going on because one person seemed to be struggle busting, and then all of a sudden it was the mines where you got to go stand in the zones.
Oh,
dude, like level 32. I was like, wait, we didn't get those. Wipe. I have just back to orbit, and I was like, damn.
Oh, damn blueberries.
The mines one is pretty annoying sometimes.
Yeah, they make you
because they're so randomly farmed. Like, but if you're with randoms, if you're on a 50 and you see, if you're on a 50 and you see somebody buy a trip mine, you may as well just like hang it up.
I will say the blueberries are very aggressive. The knowledgeable berries, they will shoot at the shacks.
Buy this,
like, put the money here. Like they're very aggressive. They'll slap you like put the money. It's for the people that don't know. It's funny.
No, I went through 1 at 50 and I noticed I was like, the decoys are bought. Only the turrets. No one has touched. And it was like early on. And then if you're smart early on, you don't even need to buy any defenses really. It's always about the rotation because if you go 10, 20, 30, I try and buy as little as possible for 21 to 30. Because you're not going to come back to that spot.
Correct.
Because then if you go 31 to 40 and 41 to 50, that's your 1 and 2 spots. That's where I try and put some of the upgrades. But like the 21 to 30 is that weird buffer where I'm like, I don't want to put a whole lot of money here, but we got to survive it. So I'm like, all right, don't spend too much. Keep your act together. I've been running bonk build, but Sunshot for ad clear.
Sunshot's so good in there.
And then it's machine guns right now. So I've just been running a solar machine gun with like target lock. It's my avalanche I've got.
You got your hammerhead yet? You got the rolls?
Hell no, dude. I've been so unlucky. And no, I will tell you, this is why crafting has some benefits to it. I still do not have the recluse I want, and I have had it focused since day 1.
You had the attunement on?
I have had the attunement on day 1 for my recluse to just see repulsor brace and destabilizer. I just want one of those. That's it. I want one.
Yep.
And I cannot get one of those to drop. So I get like 50% of them to be that. I don't know how many waves I've run. Some people have some way to check this. I don't know, but it's probably some achievement or trophy or something. I have had cannot tell you how many hip fire grip junk I've seen. Yeah. And this is the point where as many drops as I've seen, I probably would have seen about 5 red borders by now, and I could have made the bullshit that I wanted and at least focused another one, because right now it's just not going well.
Yeah, RNG's just ain't been nice to me.
No.
So I feel you on that one. Yep.
Like I got a decent edge transit. I won't argue there.
I want kinetic tremors and firefly on my midnight coup, but I can't get it.
Oh, what did I get on my midnight coup? Because I don't think I love it either. I got what did I get? A couple of mountaintops. I got a frenzy and impulse amplifier, which isn't all bad. I don't have honestly many god rolls yet, though. I really don't. Some people are like, oh, look at all these. I'm like, you're stealing all of my luck or something, because I got squat.
I ain't getting none of that. Yeah, I just want to say they did mention the thing that I like, even though the onslaught is limited and can get boring for a lot, but what I do like about the activities with ramping up difficulties since the coil came out, I love those type of activities, and then the threat of orbit, right? Because it
Yeah.
really
And
brings
they
it
put
back
that,
to
what
OG.
is it, delayed, what's the debuff called? It's the when
Yes,
you go to orbit at like 31, and they called it
at
delayed
31.
whatever it was. And I was like, that makes sense.
Yes. Yeah, no, it's cool. But they did say what was interesting. They're going to start playing around with that more as far as the difficulties and settings of those type of activities, because they mentioned Onslaught and Coil and other stuff. So I'm curious to see how they continue to evolve that system, because I do like it's like a ramping challenge gauntlet that I kind of like.
The biggest
Oh,
thing,
love regard. Why kinetic tremors Firefly? The reason why is I know a lot of people sometimes don't like, they want explosive payload, and that's cool. But I think kinetic tremors is really strong with end game content, because the enemies are tanky. The 6 hits, you gotta proc that, and then Firefly for the ad clear purpose, and it gives you the reload. That's why I love Firefly.
I have kinetic Firefly's fine. I have kinetic tremors on some stuff, and it just like it never quite feels
Procs.
as strong as I want it to be.
Okay.
Because if you're
Okay,
clearing
fair.
small ads, you're never going to proc it. If you are plinking away with a primary and a bigger
Right.
guy, it'll proc. But then when it's doing its thing, I'm like, probably shouldn't be using this on you right now. If you're out of like ammo or other things, maybe. But it just, for whatever reason, kinetic tremors always feels a little like it leans to the weak side for me. And it's just, I wish it had a
It
little more.
synergizes well with One for All also, but I like the balance. If I'm in a lower activity, Firefly is going to take care of the ads and the ad clear. But if I'm in a higher activity, I see it again. The test I've done, it's ripped chunks out of some yellow bars sometimes, and it does.
Yeah.
I will give you this: it doesn't give you a lot of the. They have to be all bunched up when you're doing this for it to work, and sometimes it doesn't have that effect. So no, I hear you. It's just me with my play style.
Yeah. So we got some good stuff coming. Pretty good amount of quality of life stuff in here. Looks like there's some writing on the wall for some future changes, whether it's in Fusion or D3 or systems or whatever. But this is your week 1 for bounty prep. So if you are bounty prepping and that's a thing you do, this is 6 weeks out. So if you want to go to the Dreaming City a few times, that's literally all you need to do for like 3 weeks. Last thing, they mentioned something called hardware. It's literally no abilities, just weapons only in Crucible Labs. So it's going to be hardware supremacy. So guns only, time to kill. Travis hates this idea, so we'll just go ahead and move on. No, I'm just kidding. But it is Destiny, so you just are shooting guns in Destiny with no abilities, if that's your thing. The other thing is Archie is back. The dog is back. I have him sitting up here, so I already have the little plushie, but mine's standing and this one's sitting, so I'm like, is this different?
Yes, it's a new model.
I'm like, I literally bought one. Now I'm kind of wondering. I'm like, are you kidding? Are you going to really do this to me that I literally have one? I was like, I have the one that stands. But I'm like, I bought one of these already. This one looks like this is straight up a sitting doggo. Hold on.
Oh, he's going to go get it. Oh, he about to go get it. Bungie support. What's going on? Bungie support. That's not the premium doggo experience.
No.
Yeah, objects may not be as they appear. Oh,
but I'm like,
man,
we got the handle, but I'm like, these don't rotate. These don't rotate.
Oh,
so it's like,
but
you have
know
this
what?
guy. Hold on, I can do it. I'll just squeeze his butt, and then he's down here.
Yeah, theirs in the picture looks more gray. Yours looks blue.
Like it's gray. It's the camera.
Oh, it's gray. Okay,
yeah, it's
the green
gray
screen.
here. It's just what the
false
camera's
advertising, Buzzy. You got my man. This is not the premium doggo experience.
I mean, this is dog 2 of 2. Apparently, I didn't know this, but yeah, dog 1 and 2. I can have 2 Archies. I did not think they were doing that because I was like, I have one. I'm like, wait a minute. Hadn't looked at the store recently to figure that out.
Hilarious.
Yeah, did not see that coming. Sorry.
No, you good.
Totally random. But yeah, you'll go randomly walk around the tower. You'll find him. But that kinda, I think, covers it right here at about 8:01. Not too shabby. Now I'm gonna go back and see. This is the thing. I want to play No Rest for the Wicked or another Crab's Treasure, and what I should be doing is raiding Last Wish and using some of my deep side harmonizers, and I don't want to do that, but I should. But I don't want to
play what you want to play. Play what the heart says to play.
Yeah, I know. Well, I also leave on
to do your
Sunday, so I
chores
have.
when you don't want to.
Yeah, I was like, I also leave on Sunday, so I don't have a ton of time to figure this out anyway. But yes, I will be gone next week. I actually don't know if we're going to do an episode next week. I have one thing I recorded. I did honestly just a covering variety type games with Danfinity. I recorded it a while ago and I have not got around to posting it yet. So I might actually post that. I might do the audio kind of somewhere in the middle of the week, maybe post the video just to the alternate channel, maybe post that one up as kind of it'll be a bonus episode. It's not going to count as a number. And then we'll see if we're still kind of on track for 300 to probably be with, we'll see if I can get that guest at time, but
yeah.
And then I don't know if we decided, are we even going to try and do a podcast that Thursday? No, we were saying we're not going to try and do a podcast that launch week because you might be in Summer Games Fest anyway, right?
Yeah. I'm going to be out there. I'm definitely going to be flying out.
And Travis is going to be writing his review before he does the raid the next day.
He's going to be in Gremlin super mode.
Well, I mean, I will need to be too because, I got to, So,
you got to create content.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be the other pieces. I got to be making content while I grind, so I got to figure out all of those little pieces. Part of my first day is just going to be like every legendary mission I do. Here's how you get through it.
Actually, Travis, your people, your people are doing something special during Summer Games Fest that I'm actually going to be attending. IGN's doing something. Yeah, I'm going to be doing it. Yep, I will be there.
I was thinking about. I mean, I don't know if they'll need me. It's my
if you end up going, let me know because I was like, you know what, let me see.
Of course I will. I know you're meeting up with Ains, and I tried to get Ains. I tried to get Ains like a press pass because I know we were giving away some press passes to it.
Nice. Yeah, I tried to shoot the shot for the press pass too. I got other methods in case. Just in case it don't go. But yeah, I want to go. So that would be cool to see the crew, the IGN fam. You know what I'm saying? And so we'll see. I think it's Thursday through. No, they may be Friday. So we'll see. We'll play it by ear.
I mean, but if you're in a hotel and if Travis is like honestly that week, taking the time to do 2 hours for a podcast.
You need to grind. You need to make contact. He needs to review the game,
and you'll be traveling. So
and I'm going to be in a location.
It's probably one of those let everything digest, and then when we come back, it'll be massive episode. It'll be big episode. And then the week after that's going to be the new episode. So we'll have
that's what I'm curious
about. Final shape and raid review, and then new episode. And that new episode launch is going to tell us quite a bit. And I'm honestly wondering if somewhere in there we get that tease about whatever the future is.
Future is. And the episode is considered a separate season/expansion from Final Shape. That's different.
Final Shape is supposed to be the events of Final Shape, and the episode is supposed to take place after the events of Final Shape. Unlike Nightfall, which was taking place in a closing and opening of a window.
Right, correct. Okay. Got it.
Yes.
Fair enough.
Sorry, bad joke.
That was good. I see what you did there.
All right. Well, hopefully I feel better when you guys see me next. It'll be 2 weeks from now. I'm hoping I feel better before I board my vacation, but
and now then hopefully you heal because I'm supposed to be hopefully traveling in your area.
That's in like end of June.
You got time. Yes, and that's the week before. I got super travel the week before the summer
end of May. If I'm not healthy in a month, I'm gonna go see a doctor before that. So I mean,
damn it.
Right now it just feels like a cold and a cough. It just sucks to be stuffed up and kind of feel a little. I got a month, man. Hold on, you're gonna be in the guest room, so I'm gonna go ahead and just cough everywhere in there, and then just shut the door and just let it like marinate. Yeah,
no doubt.
All right. Well, this has been a fun episode. All jokes and everything else, it actually has been a good time and some nice quality of life stuff in here. Dato's going to be getting a lot of crap on Twitter. Feel free to pile on, but honestly, you probably should just delete that old crap anyway. Most of us are not using it unless you are a PvP god and you have a specific weapon. But yeah, if it's PvE related, it probably sucks because I've gone back through and be like, why do even I have any of this stuff? It's terrible. So I've gone back and done that too.
Yes.
Seems like each time you travel, you get sick. Stop. I didn't go anywhere. That's the thing. I haven't gone anywhere. He's trending on Twitter. That's funny.
Let's go.
Yeah. I'm going to try and do some Destiny tonight, and I'm going to try not to play No Rest of the Wicked because No Rest of the Wicked will be here when I get back. And if the patch comes out and I can like get my Steam Deck running well, that'd be a great thing for me to take on the go. So I should play tonight.
Early access though, you going that hard on the early access?
Dude, it's got its hooks in me, and I cannot explain it, man. It's so good.
You've got your taste. You got your
No,
fill.
that's the
Well, I mean, he can do
I
Serum
can
Crucible without, you
yeah.
know,
Like I
getting
can
burned
grind
out.
out and get up to the
Sort of a
level I'm gonna
roguelike
go
mode.
for. I can save up some gold. I can buy my house. I can get a bunch of chests and get like furniture in there. You can do
Is it
all of
carrying
it.
over?
It's early access, but you're just gonna get patched into 1.0. It's not going away.
Oh, didn't know that. Okay,
Yeah,
I didn't
it's
know
not
that.
like a beta that's not transferring. It's
That's
early.
what I
You
thought.
bought the game.
Okay.
This continues with you. Yeah.
Got it. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough. I
So,
did
yeah, I'm
not
not
realize
wasting
that.
effort. I am circling some of the same areas, but I'm just having fun playing it. It's too
Oh,
good.
no, play what you got. You got to play. Go with the heart,
Yeah.
man. Destiny will be there.
But
It'll
if
be
you
all
are
right.
doing a Last Wish raid or a checkpoint or something, hit me up.
DJ text me and I'm messaging back right now.
Yeah,
I'm like,
ping
what
me
time
then
we
when
gotta
you
do
do
it?
that because I'm
I
sure I
got
could
you.
use one.
Yeah, I got you. Because I'm like, bro, I need a checkpoint. Let's do it. And I said, because if I don't do it this week, the only shot that I think I'm going to have, I'm going to assume Pantheon will have maybe some
Oh, Riven's in there
probability.
somewhere. Riven's
Yeah,
in there
Riven
somewhere.
will be in there.
No,
And
I'm pretty
hopefully-
sure I
but
looked at the list at some point. She's in there.
Right, but I don't want to risk it and wait that long. I'd rather get it out the way. And I think they did buff it. They buffed the magazine side, but they did some stuff to it. So I want to make sure I have everything.
I
just
have
in
that
case,
one.
'cause
I don't
raid-
have eyes. I don't have eyes, and I don't have.
Wait, you never got Eyes of Tomorrow?
Do you blame me after
Wow.
hearing what Travis did? Why would I put myself
he
through that?
He doesn't. If it
you
requires a group
had it.
activity, he's out, dude. He does it once or twice.
You're not
and
wrong.
I
He ain't
know.
lying
I
though.
was
That's
literally
the funny
talking.
thing,
What
yeah.
I was distracted by
He
the way, I told
tries.
you guys that I
He
was
hits
going to
me
be
up
in
all the
Cactus's.
time.
I was going to be in
me
Cactus's
up-
raid group. I do what?
He hits me up all the time. He's like, Travis, can you please play with me? Do you know anyone I could play with? And I'm like, sorry, dude, I'm busy. And I'll just be like, dude, I just don't have time to play with you, man.
I don't even get the attempt. This man is solo.
I don't ask anybody. I literally just like.
Yeah, he
log
don't
in.
ask. Yo,
Guys, he hits me up all the time. He's like, please, do you know anybody who will be my friend? And I'm like, sorry, dude. No, I can't think of anyone.
Can't
who'd
think of
wanna play
anyone.
with you.
Damn, E, this is Onslaught's time, or Eyes of Tomorrow's time right now, bro. It is crazy
Yeah,
how
I
broken
bet
it
that
is in
one's
that
fun.
mode. Mm-hmm.
All right. Well,
All right.
before this goes any farther, thank
Yeah,
you
let's
guys,
go. We gotta-
chat. You guys have been fantastic. Thank you guys always for being here for the live shows. If you catch this on YouTube, it's probably going to be on the other channel. If you watch the unlisted video, please go subscribe to the Last Word Podcast channel. To find that on YouTube, I'll put it in the description because it's easiest. But if you look up like the episode number, like the Last Word 294, for example, you'll find the other channel because the Last Word for SEO isn't the best. I'll be totally honest. There's a couple other things out there that are slightly bigger that have that taken care of. So other than that, Travis, you got anything as we go? Anything to look for next week? Or are you just going to be cooking on some stuff that you're working on?
Yeah, I've got some news about some games that I'll be able to
Ooh.
talk about next week, and then you should check out my reviews of Another Crab's Treasure, of No Rest for the Wicked.
Downloaded it on the
you
Steam
should
Deck
check out-
already.
You should check out all the Eternal Strands coverage we did for
Yes.
IGN First.
Yep.
I've got some really cool stuff coming up, and this month we're hoping that we'll be able to re-review a bunch of old games that
dope.
people are still playing. So I'm gonna see about getting a Fallout 76 review out, and then I might revisit Disney Dreamlight Valley as well,
Oh,
because
I got that.
I reviewed that game in early access, and we missed the 1.0 and haven't reviewed it since. So it'd be nice to go back to that. Also, D plays it a bunch, so it'd be a pretty easy one to put on the list.
Nice.
Cool. That's it for me, though. Oh yeah, I'm doing Fireteam chat tomorrow, so you should check that out.
Nice.
Yes.
No
No doubt.
See if I can make Paul Tassi cry on air. That'd be pretty cool for me.
The task is coming through. He's coming back for more.
Yeah,
More violence.
more violence.
Oh
No. It usually Fireteam chat is like a 30-minute show, so we don't have enough time for violence. But definitely off air, for
No
sure.
doubt. For sure.
So yeah,
for
that's
sure.
me. What about you, Cog? What do you got?
Not too much. Just same old stuff, really. Nothing this week. This is a rare, bland week. Nothing too crazy going on, but just prepping for the summer stuff. That's lately what's going on. But yeah, just gonna be gaming and trying to get Dogma done, and then figure out final Destiny chores, and then Zhao's got to get done this weekend. I gotta get on that.
Yeah, it's like 10, 11, 12 hours. Yeah, you gotta play. I was like, you gotta play that one. Let me know your thoughts.
It's
too.
picked up. It's on the hard drives, ready to go.
Yeah.
I have to get that done.
Ping me
this
when you
weekend.
beat
We
it. I'll be
start that.
curious how it hits.
Absolutely.
And as for me, you guys know I'm going to be gone. I don't know if I have a whole lot scheduled because I've been sick, so it might just be a little quiet on my channel's front, but that's part of what, taking a break's all about. Sometimes you just got to do it. So, think you guys have a good one. And for episode number 294, it has been The Last Word.
The last word.